up, and we'll have a little cloudy skies here for tonight's game. Brandon, what do you think about it?
Should be a good tussle tonight, Matt. A lot of talk about this tricky Magnolia offense, if you will. It is known as the flex bone. It is something not well known whatsoever to these Texarkana Razorbacks. Even last year and whatever years before that Magnolia has been in Arkansas House Conference, or even if they haven't, they're only an hour down the road if they've played each other regardless in recent past. You just most of the time you see the I formation in the backfield, or you see the wing T. Arkansas High runs the spread offense, as everybody knows. So more traditional stuff. Magnolia's going to put up a heck of a fight, and something that Coach Outlaw touched on. Both sides of the ball obviously are important, and it has to become a team win and a whole team effort. But I think the focus tonight's going to be on, can the Razorbacks defensively play assignment football? Because if they can stay in their lanes, if they can stay on the man that they're supposed to guard on every snap, or attempt to get around to get into the backfield, if you're somebody like Kent Griffin, Cam Holloway, McQuan Traylor, those guys on the ends, and then Holloway being a great linebacker for him. He's kind of like a Micah Parsons, really, of yeah. Arkansas High. You can stick him anywhere, and the young man's going to excel. But anyway, those key guys, and then you got Christian Roberts. The backfield, and I tell you, I talked to Coach Outlaw real quick on this one point. Their practice, he told me, was obviously focused on the style of run that Magnolia presents, right? And how hard you have to focus, play assignment football, make sure you key in on everything you're supposed to. And it doesn't involve the passing game, typically, right? But after you give to your running backs, or one of 8, it seems, or 6 that they have, at some point they're going to fake that handoff, and you can't get caught looking in the backfield. Nope. You specifically know that from your days in the past and a position you played, obviously, back there. But anyway, I asked Coach Outlaw, what did your secondary do literally at practice for the whole week? Did they just get bored and have to sit there and take notes? How were they involved? And so we had a good laugh about, it was serious, but we had a good little chuckle about how, those guys have to remain, in focus and intact with what's going on with practice, because they can sit there and they can watch the D-line and the linebackers. Everybody's feels like they're participating, you know what I mean, in that defensive scheme to stop the run during practice, and then the secondary's 15 yards back, back behind everything, and they're just they feel like spectators.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Man, that was one of the toughest things when I was in high school, playing in the secondary, was if you've got a team that's heavy run, your eyes start just keying into that backfield, and you run 6, 7, 8, 9 plays in a row that are runs. Man, I want to get in the action. I'm bored in the backfield. So now all I'm doing is waiting for my shot to get a go in and blow somebody up, and then the next play I commit, that guy's gone because I've been taking my eyes off of the receivers. And so, it's a – you have to be very, very well you got to be smart, and you got to have the discipline to stay back there and actually keep an eye on your receiver still and not go to where all the action is.
And another quick thing, real quick, Matt, on your topic there, on your note, we see it on TV on Saturdays and Sundays. When it becomes 3rd and long, say hopefully the Razorbacks put themselves in good position defensively tonight. Well, if it's been 6, 7, 8 runs, whatever, at some point, if they've shown what the Arkansas High coaches think is a pattern, obviously, they're going to send Malik Dangerfield or somebody from the secondary on a corner or safety blitz to put them in now a 4th down situation where we hopefully get the ball back. And you just kind of sometimes take the risk on, are you coming at the right time on that 3rd down and long to sack the quarterback or blow up a play, or are you going to get burned and they're going to get a new set of downs or even a touchdown that could come at the wrong time against the Razorbacks?
Oh, for sure. Man, it's all at that point it becomes a gamble. When are we going to send them, when are we not? And it's just when we do send them, it's hoping like heck they run what we think they're running. But let's go ahead and go over some of the starting lineup for your Razorbacks. So let's start with the defense. We normally start with the offense first. Let's go ahead and go with the defense today. So we've got 5 DBs on the defense. We have number 0, senior Cameron Holloway, number 6, sophomore Jaden Flowers, Number 24, senior Simeon Hicks. Number 5, sophomore Malik Dangerfield. And number 21, senior Jordan Williams. 3 linebackers for the defense. Number 11, sophomore Christian Roberts. Number 27, senior Lee Smith. Number 20, sophomore Rodney Kinley. And then down in the trenches for the defense will be number 50, the big senior Kent Griffin, along with number 40, senior Lawson Wright, and number 9, sophomore Mequan Traylor. So that'll be your defense tonight for the Razorbacks. And over to your offense, we'll have for the running back, number 28, sophomore Zephaniah Black. Wide receiving crew, number 4, senior Telly Wells. Number 15, junior Gabriel Braggs. Number 7, senior Javen Davis. The sophomore, number 3, DeAndre Burnell. And on the O-line, we'll have senior number 53, Justin Canada. Sophomore, number 70, Isaiah Ivy. Senior, number 62, Brandon Wynn. Sophomore, number 55, Grayson Narns. Junior, number 52, Shiloh Young. And then leading the pack for the offense will be the quarterback, number 8, senior Nate Wall. So that's your starting lineups for tonight's matchup. And as we said, Razorbacks coming in with a 3-0 record, and Magnolia is 2-1. This is the first conference game for 5A South here in Arkansas. Razorbacks have played nothing but non-conference games, and tonight they get to get out on the battlefield with Magnolia in the first conference play to get conference started. And so our captains tonight for the Razorbacks, as they get ready to go out for the coin toss, we're going to have number 29, Jeremiah Frazier. We'll have number 40, Lawson Wright, and number 48, Sawyer Cahey. So the 3 seniors going out for the coin toss. And for Magnolia, we'll have, looks like that's number 76, Terrence Biddle, and number 11, Kevin Carter. So they'll go out for the coin toss. Razorbacks will be in their cardinal tops, white numbers, white breeches with the cardinal stripes going down, and the cardinal helmets as always. And Magnolia will be in white jersey tops with red numbers with the gray trousers. And it looks like we've got a red and white stripe going down their trousers with the red helmets. So that kind of gives you a little outlook on what we've got going here tonight. Hog cheerleaders and Redline have some of the younger kiddos from, I think it's all from the same school maybe, but from the Heights. And they have kindergarten, first, second, third graders out here getting in the line with the cheerleaders and Redline to welcome these Hogs to the field. And so it looks like after the coin toss, it looks like the I want to say that was Magnolia that will be receiving. So we will see shortly as Magnolia is heading over to their corner to run out to their respected sideline. And we've got the Hogs inside the big hog head and in the back corner by their field house as they get ready to come out of the tunnel. Got all the smoke coming out. Cheerleaders out front cheering in front of the camera. Getting ready to play some football tonight.
And, Matt, these Razorbacks play some football tonight for the 5th and final time to start the homestand. What a great thing it's been for everybody here locally to just come down the street and get to watch your guys, watch your sons, your grandsons, your nephews, watch your daughters and nieces and granddaughters in the cheerleading and in the band and whatever contributions they make to this school and this school district. The Razorbacks have not had to hit the road in over a month since the season started, but that will begin next week. So
we head out to Camden next week.
Going to Camden, they will present a challenge. They're another team that came in here last year, and they snuck out of here with a victory. The Hogs could not pull off some late game magic. I believe they only lost the game 21-8. So hopefully we see the Hogs close out this homestand tonight on a high note. Try to get to 4-0. Of course, 1-0 to get a leg up on the competition in the conference, as Coach Outlaw alluded to yesterday. The Razorbacks are 3-0 for the first time since 2020, and not to make that seem like so long ago, but the trials that this squad that this team has been through for the last few years, it's a big deal that they're 3-0. They're riding a really good wave, and let's see if they can't finish off this homestand with a good win tonight against a good Magnolia team.
And here come the Razorbacks as they come through the tunnel, getting ready to start this game off. And just some side notes here for some of the other 5A South games. Lakeside will be playing Camden Fairview tonight, along with D-Queen playing Hope. And then, of course, Arkansas is playing Magnolia. And yesterday, I believe it was Parkview and Hot Springs. Parkview came away with that victory 54-7, which put Hot Springs at 0-1 now, and Parkview 1-0.
Yeah, and here's what's crazy, Matt. Parkview, everybody knows that's in tune with the 5A South. They are the defending state champs of 5A. So Parkview comes into the season ranked number 1. How about Hot Springs going into last night's matchup was number 5 in the state, and they got blown out as if they didn't even belong in the top 20.
And let's see, Arkansas is sitting at 11 in the state.
They're 11.
And Magnolia sitting at 9,
At 9, I believe that was the last rankings. And Hootens.com, the Hootens magazine comes out. It's sitting on the shelves at the registered checkout areas at all the Walmarts and maybe some dollar stores, wherever. But Hootens actually, on their website this week, has picked Magnolia to beat Arkansas High. I don't know that I'd call it an upset, but if you just want to look at it on paper, some might say that if Magnolia was able to get out of here tonight on the good side, that it would be kind of a blow to the Razorbacks.
Oh, yeah. And we are getting ready for kickoff as Magnolia will be kicking off to your Arkansas High Razorbacks. Back deep for the Hogs, we'll have Telly Wells along with Javen Davis, Gabriel Braggs, and Cameron Holloway. Those will be your deep backs here to start the game out. Kicking for the Panthers will be number 17, Braden Sanchez.
Matt, what do you think, real quick, it says to the audience here in the stands or even listening on the radio, following on a live stream? You realize that every time the Razorbacks have done a coin toss, whether they've won or lost, they've elected to receive. I mean, they are sending a message of confidence loud and clear that they're ready to just put you behind on the scoreboard and see if you can play catch-up.
Most definitely. And Sanchez's kick is up, and it's going to be around the 15-yard line where Telly Wells will take the opening kickoff, and he will avoid a couple tackles and step out of bounds, and they're going to mark that ball, looks like at the 25-yard line where the Hogs will take over 1st and 10. So we'll get to see that Hog offense starting out with the quarterback that everybody knows around here, Nate Wall. And Wall has just been unbelievable so far this year and just really doing his job at the quarterback position along with his using his legs and his arms.
Just a smart guy. Nate Wall, very cerebral, very responsible back there for the Hogs.
So we'll have split receivers, and we'll have Black standing to the right of Wall in their normal formation, which is shotgun. Wall looks over to the sideline, takes a snap, quick throw over to the corner, and that's intended for Burnell. And he will be brought down after the catch around the 30-yard line. So they're going to mark that at the 31-yard line. So we'll have a 6-yard reception from Telly Wells to start the game off. I'm sorry, that was DeAndre Burnell.
Good little quick out pattern there. Again, it's going to be a real big test, with all due respect to Magnolia, to see if they can keep their defense from being gassed and stay in the upkeep with the Razorbacks.
Quick out route over to Braggs. He was unable to hold on to it, so that's going to bring up a 3rd and 4 for the Hogs. And we'll see number 18, Landon Graves, coming in for Gabriel Braggs. Normally, Graves comes in to kind of sit in a slot receiver, tight end, kind of sort of position. As he does, now he's sitting in the slot. So we'll have a slot to the right. We'll also have 2 receivers, and we'll have Telly Wells by himself on the far left side of the field.
Nate Wall using that hard count there, trying to draw the Panthers off sides. They did not budge, something that we all know Nate Wall's very good at.
Graves goes in motion. Quick pass, not there. Quarterback keeper up the middle. He's going to get enough for the first down. He's got a few trailing him as he gets across midfield at the 30, the 25, 20, the 10, and scores from the 36-yard line. And that is a big, long touchdown run by quarterback Nate Wall on the scramble. And now Wall's having to get into the formation if they run the swinging gate, and you know he's exhausted after running that far.
No time for celebration there.
No.
Nate Wall's in charge of everything on the offense. Good for him, as he should be. What a leader.
So Razorbacks in the swinging gate. They toss it over to number 20, Rodney Kinley, as he gets into the end zone. And the two-point conversion is good, and that'll bring the Hogs up 8-0 with 56 seconds into this ball game.
And, Matt, on my score sheet right here, of course, doesn't take much to figure it out. 3 plays, they went 75 yards.
Whew.
And, of course, about 60 of that was covered on one run.
I'm about to say they were on the 31-yard line, so that would be, I guess, 69 yards?
69-yard run.
69-yard quarterback scramble for a touchdown.
It almost feels like you spoke it into existence. You just finished talking about the use of Nate Wall's legs. I mean, he is truly a dual-threat guy. We're about to see another dual-threat young man in Antonio Brooks for Magnolia. Going to be real fun tonight. The Arkansas High rush defense reputation is unbelievable. The opponents in the last 3 games have absolutely zero stats to look at because they shut the run game down. Can the Razorbacks shut down what is bound to be a tricky offense from the Panthers tonight?
And so check this out. So as Hayden Moya gets set to kick off, Magnolia has seen so many game films that they are already set up in an onside kick set.
So do you pooch it in the middle and go get it?
He's going to try the onside kick, and this ball is loose. And they're scrambling around. It looks like Rodney Kinley falls on top of it at the 38-yard line. And Rodney Kinley gets the onside kick as one of the Panthers bobbled the ball around, and Kinley came in and just jumped on top of it and bear hugged it. And the Razorbacks will get 1st and 10 in Panther territory on the 39-yard line.
And, Matt, that's something, that ball, it swiveled around like footballs notoriously do, but a Panther had that ball corralled, and once bodies start piling up on top of each other, that ball finds a way to just squirt loose.
So we'll have split receivers for Wall. 1st and 10, 39-yard line. And we'll have a quick pass over to Telly Wells, and it is flipped back to Black, and we do have a flag on the play. Looks like we're going to have pass interference on the offense.
They're going to get Telly for an illegal screen, maybe?
They may get Telly for pushing off. But it will be pass interference on the offense. They're going to move the ball back. They'll move that back 10 yards. So we're now still sitting in Panther territory, but we will now be on the Panthers' 49-yard line. And that'll bring up a 1st and 20. So we'll have 2 running backs in the backfield this time.
Might just get Nate Wall to bail you out of another situation.
Yeah. So it looks like they're going to move it back another 5 yards and put it at a 15-yard penalty. So it's going to bring up a 1st and 25 for the Hogs. They are now in their own territory at their own 46-yard line. So we'll have Braggs and Black both in the backfield with Wall. Single receiver to the right, 2 to the left. Braggs will go in motion to the left side. Ball is snapped, quick pass to Telly Wells, and Telly Wells unable to hang on to that catch. That's going to bring up a 2nd and 25.
That ball was a little high, I might have to admit. Wall trying to throw over that screen of Razorbacks that were going to lead Telly down the tunnel of the left side of the field, per se. But you've heard the old saying as a football player, if it touches your fingers, man, you feel like that the guy's got to come down.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, if you can get your hands on it, it's almost like you don't have a
looks like we're going to have a false start against the Hogs. That's going to push them back another 5 yards. So it's going to be 2nd and extremely long for the Razorbacks here as they go into their 2nd drive of the night. So we'll have trips to the right. Single receiver left. Black will be to the left of Wall. 2nd and 30. Fakes a pass, throws over to Telly Wells. Telly Wells makes the catch, tries to hurdle over one of the defensive men and gets into Panther territory. So he gained back about 12 yards on that reception. And now the ball's going to be sitting in Panthers' 46-yard line.
Good job by Telly to just go up about 5-7 yards, turns around and just kind of sits down in a hole.
Yeah.
Got his blockers out front. Good, easy pass there.
Burnell going in motion over to the right side to split the receivers. Wall drops back, looks for Telly Wells in the middle again. He takes a shot, stays on his feet, and continues just to tumble as he gets down to the 34-yard line, where he was finally brought down by number 1, Chevis Johnson.
And that's just pure athleticism there on Telly Wells' part. He should have been tackled twice about 5 yards previously, and he just bounced off the defenders like a pinball.
So 4th and 5 for the Hogs after traveling 25 yards. We'll see what happens here. Walls takes a step back. We'll have Davis going in motion. A quick pass to the corner, and he's got enough for a first down, and that is DeAndre Burnell, where he is brought down out of bounds by number 4, Caleb Roach. And he will have enough to move the chains for a Razorback first down.
Everything previously, Matt, for the Razorbacks, I think they fooled Magnolia there. Everything had happened on the left hash of the field, all the short throws going left, and then he does a bootleg, rolls out to his right, and Burnell wide open waiting 15 yards down the field.
So ball now on the right hash at the 25-yard line of the Panthers. Wall fakes a handoff, looking down the corner and throws the ball away as he gets outside the pocket. Magnolia's defense really had the Hogs tied up there on the receiving group. And Wall, very smart decision, as we've seen all year with Wall being a very smart quarterback, throws the ball away. That's going to bring up 2nd and 10. So at receivers, we'll have Telly Wells, we'll have Braggs, we'll have Burnell and Davis. And we'll have the sophomore, Zephaniah Black, in the backfield. Actually, they just brought someone in. They brought in number 14, Tony Noble, the freshman, to sit in at running back on this play. Ball drops back, quick pass over to Noble. He's unable to hang on to it. Ball's dropped. It's going to bring up a 3rd and 10. Noble on a little swing route, bubble route as we used to call it back in high school.
Yeah, and that's a shame. Again, that's already the that's the 3rd drop ball in these 2 drives now.
That have hit hands.
Telly Wells, 2 of them already, and then Noble right there. And it's like anything else. You know mentally that ball is yours. It's going to be secured. Yep. You're already looking to take your next step forward down the field, but you gotta crawl before you walk.
For sure. Wall drops back, avoids a sack, stays on his feet, still on his feet, but finally brought down by a couple of the Panthers. And that's going to be a big loss. It's going to be a 10-yard loss for the Hogs. And so one thing to think about out here tonight, for those listening, for those watching on RTV, it's rained majority of the day. Granted, this is a turf field. No mud, nothing like that. However, that turf is still wet. So you're going to get some balls that are going to get wet. And, I mean, it's just the way it's going to happen. We were watching it whenever they were in pregame, kicking the ball around and throwing it, how you can just see it slipping through receivers' hands. So regardless if it's rained or not, the turf is still a little wet.
Well, not to bring up bad memories for NFL fans, regardless of who you root for around the league, but it rained actually the day of Aaron Rodgers' injury.
Yep. Telly Wells going across the middle of the field, and he was wide open. Wall just didn't get it all the way there to him, but Wells was free on a post route, but that's going to be a turnover on downs. So we'll see Magnolia's offense here for the first time of the night. With 8 minutes and 16 seconds left on the clock, Razorbacks leading the Panthers 8-0. Panthers are going to start their 1st and 10 at their 34-yard line, or 35-yard line, rather. And we'll get to see the Hogs' defense come out now. Magnolia runs a unique offense. They have a lot of running backs. They have a lot of depth in running backs. Tight formation, motion across, and it's going to be a handoff to number 2, Young, and he was brought down immediately on looks like a 3-yard gain is what they're going to give him. So Young seems to be their main running back. They also have number 3, Dakota Dismuke. Is that how you pronounce that name?
I believe Dismuke? It is. Yeah, it looks like Dismuke. And their quarterback, Antonio Brooks, he's going to be you just got so many eyes that you got to keep, or so many players you got to keep eyes on. And now we got the Hogs jumping off sides, it appears.
And so we're going to see a lot of movement in the backfield tonight from Magnolia. They're going to have a lot of guys in motion. They are in a very tight formation. I mean, they literally have 9 guys inside the tackles right now. They have 2 receivers, 2 of them are out wide, but 9 guys are inside tight. Along with motion back and forth, you'll see a lot of motion coming from Dismuke and Roach as they are sitting in the slot position. And we'll see Roach go in motion, but it's a handoff to Young. He is brought down by Kinley.
He sniffed that out in a hurry. So nothing up the gut so far. It is early, just a couple of plays, but so far the Hogs have stood tall up the gut, and at some point, this tricky formation is going to swing it from either to the left or right, and just can't give them too much room to operate with.
That's going to bring up a 3rd and 1 for the Panthers as they're at the 49-yard line on their own side. 3rd and 1. Razorbacks in tight. And we'll see a motion from Roach, and it's going to be a pitch out over to number 3, Dismuke, as he hits the outside. And we'll get enough for the first down. So I'm mistaken a while ago. I said they were on the 49-yard line. They were on the 44-yard line. So they're still in Panther territory on the 49-yard line, left hash. It's 1st and 10. We'll see here if Razorbacks are – I'm waiting to see the pass. We talked about how much they like to run. I'm waiting to see when they're going to decide to think that the Razorbacks DBs are not looking. Roach goes in motion, handoff to a quarterback keeper up the middle as Brooks looks like he's going to get 4 yards on that, 5 yards on that carry. That'll bring up a 2nd and 5 as they are now in Hog on the Hog territory, 46-yard line.
So that's already 4 different players out of the backfield, quarterback included. 4 different guys have touched the football in the 30 yards they've gone. All in the run.
Out of a total of 6 plays.
2 of those aided by, one of those aided by the Hogs being offside. Yep. So they've run 5 plays.
We got motion, so sweep to the left, and a shoestring tackle. It looks like it was it may have been Lee Smith on the tackle.
It was Christian Roberts, actually.
Christian Roberts?
Number 11. Yeah, he just at the last second did what he could, and he got there. But it is now it's a 4-yard gain for Dismuke. It's now 3rd and 1.
So you have Roach, Dismuke, and Young in the backfield. Now we have every player in tight.
And the Hogs have jumped again.
So we're going to move them 5 yards upfield, and that's going to bring up first down for the Panthers as they are now on the 36-yard line. But all 11 players for Magnolia are in tight. So we'll have 2 tight ends. We'll have 2 slot backs and a running back all in tight.
I'd be interested to see, don't want it to happen, but just as a football fan, what kind of trick plays do you run out of this? At some point, do you have a receiver come in the backfield and on the big side of the field do a reverse? Mm-hmm. Assignment football.
Hand off to Young. That's a different running back there. That's number 31, Moore. Rodarius Moore, the junior, on the handoff. So there's another person that has had the ball in these few plays that they ran. 4 minutes and 10 seconds left here in the first quarter. Razorbacks leading 8-0. Ball now at the 35-yard line of the Razorbacks.
And it'll be something to see. As we can tell now in this first drive, Magnolia is absolutely doing everything they can to milk the clock and keep the Razorbacks offense off the field.
Quarterback keeper, Brooks keeps it, goes to the left, and he has a drop to Hogs that'll bring him down, and they're going to give him 4 yards on the carry, but Rodney Kinley coming out with the ball in his hand.
Rodney Kinley very adamant on the fact that he came out of that pile with the ball.
Did you notice how the official looking around like, what just happened? Well, that's going to bring up a 3rd and 6 for the Panthers. We'll go a 3rd and 5.5.
Yeah, it's a real big shame that there's not reviews. There's not an instant replay on the scoreboard so fans can moan and groan. Rodney Kinley was sure of that last play.
Pitch out to the left side, and it is sniffed out by number 21, Jordan Williams.
And Jordan Williams undercut the ball carrier for the Panthers. And as Jordan Williams hit him in the lower half, he had Big Cam Holloway on his backside. And so he got bent 2 different directions, and that's not going to feel good coming from those 2 defensive Razorbacks.
So we do have a flag on the play. It's going to be holding against the offense. Looking to see what they decide to do, if they're going to accept that penalty or take the loss.
Coach
I would
Outlaw,
assume they would take the loss.
Coach Outlaw, I believe, has signaled.
Yep. So they declined the penalty, so that's going to bring up a 3rd and, or is that a 4th down? Should bring up a 4th and 8 for the Panthers as the ball is now sitting on the 36-yard line. A little confusion out there, and now we're getting set. In the backfield will be Moore. We got Roach and Young both in the slots in dismute.
Look for another hard count here, and instead
Quarterback keeper, he drops back for a pass. He throws it to the back left corner, and that pass is incomplete, but I think we're going to get a pass interference on Lee Smith. So you know what's crazy, Brandon? Just looking at this and seeing what happened is I could have told you what hand this quarterback throws it from. He went rolling out that way, and I thought he was going to turn all the way across his body and be a right-hander. No, he's a lefty. He's backwards.
Ain't nothing wrong with being left-handed.
So it looks like we had 2 penalties.
Gonna replay the down.
Well, they got first down up. So we're trying to see what is going on here. I guess it's a 15-yard penalty from the line of scrimmage. So it's going to bring up a first down with the ball sitting at the 26 or 21-yard line of the Hogs. 1st and 10 for the Panthers.
Well, right now, defensively, the Hogs unable to stay out of their own way, you might say. Had a good situation there. One more stop against the Panthers. The Panthers might have gone for it 2 on 4th down, so you never know. But the Hogs have really put themselves in a bad spot in this first drive for the Panthers.
Quarterback option is he decides to keep it, but there's another flag on the play. As we've seen a lot of dirty laundry here in the last few minutes of this first quarter. Clock is sitting at 2:25 left in the first. Let's see what this call is.
Illegal shift.
So we'll have a legal shift on the offense. So that'll push them back 5. That'll bring up a 1st and 15 for the Panthers.
And, Matt, I've been watching, as we all have, of course, but really watching Antonio Brooks. When he's doing a quarterback keeper, a lot of quarterbacks, they're like another true running back. And when they get out from underneath that center, they take off.
Yep.
Antonio Brooks is tiptoeing, around the line of scrimmage like he's trying
really
to seek out what hole, or he's selling the fake. He doesn't look like he's going to be a big threat, and then he finds a hole.
So another fake handoff, and it is an option over to Roach, or Dismuke, I'm sorry, and he's going to hit the outside. He is stood up, hit hard by Cameron Holloway, and he will go out of bounds, and he's going to gain about 8 yards on that carry, and it's going to bring that ball up to the 17-yard line of the Hogs. It'll be a 2nd and 7. Holloway came in and really got a good hit on the pitch that was out to Roach. So there's two Roaches here, Caleb Roach and Amare Roach. I'm assuming they may be brothers. One's a sophomore, one's a senior. They've been rotating in the backfield, so we'll have Amare Roach in the backfield now for the Panthers. Quarterback keeper.
They've got him bottled up.
Down. That's Rodney Kinley on the sack, and they're going to show a loss of Well, they're going to show a loss of 4 on that, so that's going to bring back up a 3rd and 10 for the Panthers. As the ball now sitting at the 21-yard line.
Good job there of keeping their places after the ball was snapped. Assignment football, as it's called, just staying patient, keying in on your man across from you. Don't get fooled easily. Stay in your lane, have your responsibility, and good plays work out for you.
Oh, yeah. So 3rd and 10. Brooks going on a quarterback sweep as he is brought down by number 9, McQuan Traylor. Looks like that was Ronnie Kinley in there as well with him. That's going to bring up a 4th down and should be a 4th and 10.
Going to give him back to the line of scrimmage there as he hit the chains going out of bounds. Yep. So might kind of be an obvious deal where you just put the ball right back on the, the 21-yard line there?
Yep. Well, that's going to bring up a 4th down. 4th and 10.
And, Matt, is there a little rain falling again? Looks like the field under the lights is
getting a little shiny.
Yeah, getting a little shiny. There's a little moisture there.
I don't see any umbrellas out yet, so. Quarterback drops back for a pass. He's looking deep downfield. Throws it off in the end zone, and it goes out past around the goalpost. And that's going to be a turnover on downs. And that'll bring up 1st and 10 for the Razorbacks.
Razorbacks do a great job of holding the line there, standing tall when it counted most. They got to get this next possession back in their favor. Yep. The second one, even though they got off to the hot start on the first one, of course, you might say, they kind of wasted that second possession. So be a good deal here to see them with 1:19 left in the first quarter. Let's see if we can go get 79 yards, Matt, and see if we can go up by 2 possessions here.
Would be nice. As the offense headed back out on the field, we'll have Zephaniah Black in the backfield again. Play clock down to 5. We may see a timeout call here. No, we will have a timeout called from the Razorbacks. So while they take a timeout, let's take a 30-second timeout here on 98.7 Real Country, home of the Hogs. Hey, just give me a go when you're ready for me to go. Yeah, I can hear you now.
Did you know that with the Arkansas Future Grant, students can qualify to earn over 25 degrees and certificates for free at the University of Arkansas Hope Texarkana? Our Future is the newest state grant program. The purpose of this grant is to increase the education and skills of Arkansas's workforce. The grant will cover tuition and fees for certificate and associate degree programs at UAHT. For more information and eligibility requirements, visit uaht.edu/arfuture. Did you know that with the Arkansas Future Grant, students can qualify to earn over 25 degrees and certificates for free at the University of Arkansas Hope Texarkana? Our Future is the newest state grant program. The purpose of this grant is to increase the education and skills of
Bragg's going in motion to the right. Wall drops back. Looks across the middle of the field to Telly Wells. It is completed, and Wells is to the races as he is at the 15, the 10, the 5, and in the end zone for a 79-yard touchdown pass from Nate Wall to senior Telly Wells.
69-yard run, Nate Wall. 79-yard pass, Nate Wall. Have yourself a first quarter, kid.
As you can see Wall out there celebrating a little bit out there as they get ready for the swinging gate 2-point conversion formation.
Do you think there was legit strategy to that timeout? Did they stall on purpose and just give Magnolia something else to think about?
Could be a possibility. We're going to have a flag on the play. Looks like it's going to be offsides on the defense as the defense came in to try to block that underhand snap over to Rodney Kinley. So they'll move them up half the distance to the goal, and we'll bring out, looks like we're going to bring out the kicking crew. I say that, I don't see Hayden Moya anywhere.
They're going to go for maybe a more traditional.
Looks like they're going to go for an original 2-point conversion. as the ball's sitting at the 1.5-yard line.
Now, this would be something we hadn't seen in a season and a half by now.
Ball is snapped, and all Razorbacks pushing towards the end zone, but we are going to have a flag, and it's going to be offsides on the Razorbacks. So now with an offsides going on, you might as well go ahead and just bring out Moya, let him kick the PAT. You're now going to be sitting at the 7-yard line, 6-yard line. So it is a false start against the Hogs. So they will move them back 5 yards. It looks like they are going to call on. Well, they're going to put some receivers in. They're going for the 2-point conversion. You'll see Hayden Moya sitting on the sideline. Nope, there we go. Here comes Moya out for the PAT.
I was just going to say, Matt, what that might indicate to those out there entertained by this game tonight, and in my opinion as well, going for the 2-point conversion. I know that's what the Razorbacks do, but you got a team like Magnolia. If they put points on the board at any point,
you can't afford to not get that extra PAT.
Right, because they're going to use those same 5 or 6 guys to try to execute the 2-point conversion.
That PAT is blocked. Boy, he got back there quick. That was blocked by number 14, Malcolm Ross.
And he's putting his hands up in the I don't know position, kind of talking to the Arkansas High coaches for just a second. Looked like a little friendly, friendly fire. Nothing too bad, but they're probably asking him what you just said. I mean,
how did you get back there?
Hayden Moya didn't no more than put a toe on the end. For not throwing that yellow laundry on the field. I mean, did they fall asleep on?
I think they got tired of throwing. Their arms getting a little sore
already.
Yeah.
With just 11 minutes gone by in the opening quarter.
So 14-0 the score here. Razorbacks leading the Panthers with 1:08 left as the Razorbacks set to kick off. It looks like back deep for the. Looks like that's number 4, Caleb Roach, back deep for the Panthers. Moya looking like he's going to move around, take a couple of extra steps back. It looks like he's going to try to put this ball deep. But we've seen some crazy stuff from the Hogs on what they can do. And he is going to go ahead and kick it deep. It's going to be caught around the 14-yard line by Roach.
And Cam Holloway knocks his man off his blocks, sheds that, and goes and makes the tackle.
I'm hoping they're not about to call this flag that's been thrown face mask, because that did not look like a face mask.
I felt like the flag came out after Cam hit the man in his lane who was hoping to block Cam Holloway.
Let's see what this flag is. Personal foul, face mask. So they did get Cam Holloway on the face mask. I didn't think he grabbed the face mask. I thought that was more of upper body, kind of around the horse collar. But they call it a face mask, so it'll be a 15-yard penalty. So they originally would have started at the 20-yard line, or around the 20-yard line. And they're going to start now at their own 36-yard line. So it'll be 1st and 10 for the Panthers with 1:02 left here in the first quarter. It's been a quick-paced, fast first quarter.
It has.
Kind of slowed down a little bit there, around the 4 or 5 minute mark, and then now it's back to speeding up.
And I'm surprised at that, really, because the Razorbacks offensively have taken their time more tonight running a couple plays than being in the hurry-up offense.
Pitch to the left to Roach as he is brought down. Looks like he's going to get just enough to gain the first down, and I believe that was number 5, Malik Dangerfield on the tackle.
Yeah, there was a lot of green turf over to that left side. As soon as the ball was snapped, Roach had all day to run and get upfield, and unfortunately just took one play to turn it into another set of 10 yards and moving the chains for the Panthers.
Yep. So 1st and 10 for the Panthers. They're now at the 47-yard line.
It's a gain of 11 there by Roach.
We have Roach in motion and a handoff to Roach. As he goes up the middle, and he is brought down by Kent Griffin. They're going to give him 4 yards on the carry. Let's bring up a 2nd and 6. Clock winding down, 40 seconds left as the clock continuing to wind down. Looks like we'll have to have one more play before the half or before the quarter.
Yeah, the game clock just ahead of the play clock, thank you, Matt, of about 7 to 8 seconds. You see the O-line for Magnolia checking their wristbands on the play coming in. Brooks checks his as well.
We have a handoff up the middle, and he is brought down by a couple of Hogs, and it looks like that ball got loose. That ball was sitting on the ground. Hogs saying they have it.
The ball did come loose, and we could see that on our screen here in the booth. We've got a bit of a look, but that ball, and Outlaw wants to know what's going on, of course, but that ball definitely came loose, and I believe when it was all said and done, Kent's
Okay, that's fine. Okay, that'll work. That's fine. Oh, yeah.
They stopped him short.
All right, welcome back. We got a play during the break on a quarterback keeper that went up the middle, and they're going to get him short of the first down mark. So that's going to bring up a 4th and 1 for the Panthers as the ball is now sitting at the 44-yard line of the Hogs. As we have a couple personnel changes on the offensive side. But 4th and 1 for the Panthers. Panthers looking at the wristband. Brooks brings them up to the line. We'll have a motion. It's a handoff up the middle, and he'll get enough for the first down as he has about 7 Hogs on top of him. He'll be brought down at the 40-yard line. So to bring up 1st and 10 for the Panthers.
And another Razorback, again, the knee probably down. The play's been over for a few seconds.
Ball in his hand.
Another Razorback comes out from the bottom of the pile. Now, he's not showing the referee and trying to convince him.
Yeah.
But
it's just the fact that every time plays over, somebody's going for that ball. So 1st and 10 for the Panthers. As in the backfield now, we'll have Moore at the running back position. And then we'll also have Martin in the slot. We'll have a pass as it's passed to the far right side of the field, and it is completed. And I guess he kept his feet in bounds, and it looks like that's going to be enough for a Panther first down. And that was caught by number 7, Lamille Martin.
Good enough for an 11-yard gain there by Mr. Martin from Mr. Brooks. So that's already, the third pass in just over a quarter now we've seen from the Panthers. Coming into tonight's game through 3 weeks, Matt, Mr. Brooks was a total of 2 of 8 for 83 yards on the season through the air.
Now he's 1 of 3 tonight, 1 of 4 tonight.
Something to that effect.
We'll have a quarterback option as Brooks is brought down by Holloway. And that's going to give him a loss of 2.
And, Matt, what Holloway and Jordan Williams did right there, instead of biting on the trickery per se, they just swapped. And I don't know if maybe there's a verbal signal for players on the defensive side. Maybe you could,
I'm sure on that he was trying to run the option.
No, he was.
But you get one that's key to the running back, one keeps eyes on the
and
deal. It looks like they kind of switched mid-motion.
That's exactly
and
right.
And Holloway just went in for the quarterback.
And Brooks was absolutely bottled up, had nowhere to go.
It's going to bring – that was a 3-yard loss. It's going to bring up 2nd and 13 as the ball sitting at the left hash of the 32-yard line of the Hogs. Looks like we're going to get a timeout. We'll get a timeout called by the Panthers. So let's go ahead and take a 30-second timeout while they're on a timeout here on 98.7 Real Country, home of the Hogs.
The senior class is doing the split the pot raffle. Drawing it will be held at halftime. There is a table set up underneath the
I know we hadn't had very many breaks.
$5 a ticket. Senior class selling ice cream, and there's Kona Ice and Chick-fil-A on site.
To who? No, that's yours. All right, welcome back. They're still in the timeout here. Razorbacks leading the Panthers 14.
Arkansas's workforce. The grant will cover tuition and fees for certificate and associate degree.
Here with 2nd and 13. Brandon, you think I can get my beautiful wife to possibly get me a Dr. Pepper?
If you want a cold one, they're all the way downstairs at the concession stand. That's where I got my cold one, and I didn't have anybody go get it for me either.
Coach Kaylee Riddle is my beautiful wife, of course, but she's also in charge of the press box up here. And looks like the refrigerator's out, so. But a pitch outside to Roach as he is brought down on a shoestring tackle. And they're going to give him about 6 yards on that carry. That'll bring up a long 3rd down. Thank you, babe.
Yeah, Roach looking to get around the right side on the little sweep to the right, a little toss sweep. Mm-hmm. And Razorbacks bottled him up, stayed in their lanes, playing assignment football. Probably 2-down territory here for the Panthers. Got 3rd and 6.
He drops back for a pass, looks across, and that pass was just nowhere close. It was incomplete. It looks like it was intended for number 31, Moore. What's the weather feel like out there, babe, since you just walked down the stands? Feels good? Is it raining any? What kind of food trucks they got down there tonight? Chick-fil-A has a food truck down there? Treese got him a Kona Ice. What flavor did you get? Just a mixture of all of them?
Brooks back to throw again, and he's going to be pounced on by who else? But the senior defensive end, Kent Griffin. And I believe, Matt, that'll make – look at the big man dance. Look at him get down and celebrate, rightfully so. But that's going to make what I believe is Kent Griffin's 6th sack on the season now.
Ball will go over on down to the Razorbacks at their own 30.
I like seeing big players get excited after big plays. So it's going to bring up a 1st and 10 for your Arkansas High Razorbacks. Ball sitting at their own 30-yard line with 8 minutes and 52 seconds left on the first half. Empty backfield, 3 receivers right, 2 to the left. Ball with the hard count and draws the offsides on the defense.
Little payback.
Flag on the play.
Like you can do it, I can do it.
Call against the Panthers.
The Panthers, so Mr. Wall and company getting in on the act and having a good laugh here for a second. Now they got to go execute that short 1st down here.
And so they're going to keep an empty backfield. Ball sitting a little close to the left hash. 3 receivers to the far side, 2 to the short side. Wall takes a snap, drops back. Throws deep downfield for Davis, and just in and out of Davis's hands, and he had about 2 steps on the defender. Ball had to get rid of that quick because he had Carter right in his face.
Yeah, but Nate Wall did a heck of a job, like quarterbacks have to, right? You got to be tough. You got to stand there and know you're about to absorb a very big hit.
Yep.
But you get back up and you keep going. I tell you what, outside of the one ball that fell probably, 5 yards short of Telly Wells on that fourth down conversion in last quarter when they turned it over on downs, Nate Wall's been pretty precise with his ball. And these haven't been short little dinky passes. No. He's throwing that ball 20 and 30 yards down the field.
Yeah. Just imagine what that play could have been like if he would have had just another second to let go of that ball. But he put a beautiful touch on it.
He did.
Right out of the hands of Davis. So 2nd and 5.
And there's the first run of the night, Matt. I can't believe I'm saying that.
Yeah.
But
we're off to Black up the middle.
We're 4 minutes into the second period, and that is Arkansas High's first handoff.
Oh, that was Noble
on the carry for the
first handoff of the night.
Pick up
Noble goes up and gets 2 yards on the carry, so it's going to bring up 3rd and 3.
37.
Let's see. 3rd and 3. Wells will be out to his far left. And Burnell to the far right. We'll have a slot back and a running back. And it's another handoff to Noble up the left side. He gets enough for the first down.
Noble on the carry.
He is brought down around the 41, 42
Result
yard
of the play
line.
is a Razorback first down. That Razorback first down is brought to you by Big Jake's Barbecue. 1st and 10 Razorbacks for
It'll
the
be a 1st and 10 for the Hogs. Clock just under 8 minutes. 14-0 the score. Snap to Wall, pass over to Davis, and he makes the catch and is brought down immediately by number 11 or number 14, Ross.
And the Razorbacks here in this first half, Matt, have actually may have found a weakness in Magnolia's defense from the passing side. There's a lot of balls thrown so far by Nate Wall, but the defensive backs, if you notice on that last play, the pass completed to Javen Davis, there's a lot of cushion being given by the secondary of the Panthers.
Yeah, and that's why we're seeing all these short passes, and a short pass missed by Rondarius Lott. That was right to the chest and just unable to hang on to it. Bring up a 3rd and 3 for the Razorbacks as they're at the 49-yard line.
What number is Rondarius Lott? 16. It's a name we haven't called yet tonight.
That's Rondarius Lott, number 16. Wall looks back over to Coach Outlaw as they audible out of that play.
This is the most patient we have seen the Razorback offense in working the clock this year.
Oh, yeah. A fake handoff, Wall scrambling to the left side as he stays on his feet. Stiff arms. And brought down, looks like he's going to get back to the line of scrimmage where it'll be a 4th down. So they're going to Ball went all the way to the far left side of the field, cut back, went back to this side, and brought down on this sideline closest to us here in the booth. And they gave him back to the line of scrimmage. So it's going to bring up a 4th and 3 for the Hogs.
Coach Outlaw telling me yesterday when we talked, the football field is 53 and a third yards wide, and Nate Wall probably just went 100 yards between both sides back and forth just to get back to the line of scrimmage.
He almost went sideline to sideline. They try a hard count.
They clock down to 5.
Ball takes a snap. Quick pass over to Burnell as he makes the catch, avoids the first tackle, stays on his feet. And it takes 3 Panthers to bring him down out of bounds.
Complete to
that'll be a 10-yard completion for a first down. Razorbacks now in Panther territory. The ball at the 43-yard line.
Result of the play is a Razorback first down. This Razorback first down brought to you by Millway Federal Credit Union.
Like we always do every night
from
here
the
at
Panther
home,
43.
thank Chicken Express for donating food for the press box. The fake handoff. Ball tries to hit the outside. Not able to get back to the line of scrimmage.
Ball keeps it, run out of bounds.
Ran out of bounds. Looks like Coach Outlaw trying to tell him, hey, if you get that, you don't see nothing, just throw that ball away.
Loss of a couple on the play. That'll bring up 2nd and 12 from the 45.
He did it in the second drive of the first quarter earlier. So Nate Wall definitely knows how to not only get the heck out of Dodge, but he knows how to throw it away when it's called for.
That'll be a 2-yard loss. So it'll bring up 2nd and 12 for Razorback with ball sitting on the right hash 45-yard line of the Panthers. Ball takes a quick pass over to Burnell. Burnell makes the catch.
Ball's
And
pass is
go
complete
out
to
of
Burnell.
bounds, and they're gonna
Stopped
mark
by
it
a couple of
39-yard
Panthers,
line.
including in that number 50, Amarion Harris.
Well, they're going to put
They'll
that
bring
at
up
the
3rd
40.
and 7 Razorbacks from
Bring
the
up a
Panther
3rd and
40.
7 for the Hogs. 5 minutes and 35 seconds left here in the first half. Razorbacks holding on to a 14-0 lead. Yeah, you see the D-backs are really soft on the receivers. We're going to have another quick pass to Burnell, and he's going to get past the chains and get
Ball's
down,
pass is complete
right
to
down
Burnell.
at the 29-yard line. That'll be enough for a
Result of the
Razorback
play is
first
a
down.
Razorback first down. This Razorback first down is brought to you by Graphic
That's going to
Packaging.
give
First and 10
Burnell
for the
another
Panther 29.
11 yards on the completion. Burnell, a busy man here in the second quarter for the Razorbacks. And, Matt, I've been looking at these last few
Panthers.
throws at 5, 7, 10 yards to the right side to Burnell. Every single time that Nate turns and the corner stays with stays with Burnell, but then the safety comes over to help.
Or 2 receivers to the left for the Hogs, and they only had 1 defensive back over there. So it's like the head coach, Mark King, jumped on the timeout real quick to make sure he can get personnel where they needed to be. So after the timeout, we'll get ready to start back with the 1st and 10 for the Hogs.
Coach King been doing it a long time over there in Magnolia. It didn't take him long at all to figure out.
So seeing a different little formation here, we got Black all the way to the far right. You don't normally see him on the outside of the wide receiving group. You got Davis and Burnell over here on the right side. Oh, we're going to have a false start. Looks like there's going to be a false
Well,
start
we'll
on
start the call against
number
the Razorbacks.
53, Justin Canada. He got just a little anxious for that play to start. So they'll bring him back 5 yards, bring up 1st and
for the
15.
Panther 34.
And now we'll see Black going back to the backfield. I think something trickery was going on there. Normally your outside receivers are either Telly Wells or Burnell. Sometimes you'll see Davis at the end receiver. But they had Zephaniah Black at the far right receiver.
Like to see Telly Wells on the far left side, possibly if that's who that is, go one-on-one. It's not going to happen.
We're going to get a tackle by number 51.
Tackle
but
for
we
a
do
loss.
have
There's a flag on the play.
They're going to get a face mask.
And to be honest, from where I am looking,
You get him on the
he
front of
got
the
him on a
jersey.
face mask.
Okay.
I didn't see a face mask. However,
Face mask the call against the
Whitecap
Panthers.
did. So that'd be a 15-yard penalty on the face mask from the defense.
And the 1st and 15 going the wrong way has now been given right back to the Hogs.
They didn't even move the ball. So I guess the other official said that he didn't. It wasn't a face mask. They may have called him off. It's going to bring up a. They still got 1st down showing. However, we're going to have a pass over to Kelly Wells. He makes a reception.
Last pass is complete to Tilly Wells.
9 yards on the catch. There's that ball now around the 26-yard line.
Second
Hogs
down,
going
Razorback.
into a quick offense. As they did not hesitate one bit. Ball drops back, throws across his body to number 15 Braggs, and he
There's
holds
a
on
flag
to
on the
the ball
play.
and gets in the end zone.
That ball fell and caught. He held it
caught it
between
in
like
his legs.
his kneecaps.
So Braggs caught the ball in his hands, and it dropped in between his knees, and he held on to it and ran to the end zone for the
Holding is the
touchdown.
call against
But
the
we do
Razorbacks.
have a flag on the play.
Yeah, the Magnolia secondary just stopped because they saw Braggs
It fall out of his hands.
get bent down, but he was able to catch it and hang on to it. However, it doesn't look like it's going to matter.
No, they're going to have that against the Hogs. They're going to push them back 10 yards. So we're going to replay the down. It is 2nd down, so it's going to be a second and 16 for the Hogs. Unsure of what that last penalty was other than this one. Not too sure, but we do have an empty backfield. I would expect to see something across the middle here. We're going to have a route to the far right. Flag route ran by Burnell, and it was just out of reach in the far corner of the field. Incomplete pass will bring up a third and 16.
That'll bring up third and long Razorbacks from the Panther 36-yard line.
Another good effort there by Burnell. Nate Wall had a little more air under that and almost looked like he had to get rid of it.
He had to get rid of it quick.
Put it in the air.
Yep.
And so you know he's sitting there when he releases it, he's thinking, I didn't get my best arm. You know, I didn't get all of my motion through that I needed to.
No, he didn't put enough air under that ball, but it was all in duress. So,
but Burnell still did a great job getting. He was not camped under, but you know, like an outfielder going almost to the fence and in the gap to get a fly ball.
Yep. Ball drops back, fakes a short pass, throws deep downfield. Tilly Wells in the corner of the end zone, just out of reach.
Wells is incomplete.
Incomplete pass is going to bring up a 4th and 16
Razorback.
for the Hogs.
And you talk about great touch on that pass.
Oh, yeah.
Matt. I mean, Nate Wall got every bit of the angle that he wanted. The secondary bit yet again on Nate Wall, getting out of the pocket, scrambling. The defense wanted to come up and kind of collapse and kind of hold their spot and think, okay, what's he doing? Well, by the time you stop and then look around, Tilly Wells, he's 5 yards behind you.
Yep.
And Nate Wall dropped that ball in perfectly, and Tilly just could not hold on.
Tilly Wells in the backfield here on this 4th down. Tilly's going to go in motion to the left, get set.
Do it again, huh?
Oh, Tilly Wells is open in the right corner as that pass was intended for, looks like that is number 16, Rondarius Lott, but it was broken up by
To Rondarius Lott is
Brandon
incomplete.
loses his pin on that
Turn
one.
the ball over
I think
on
he got an
down
extra
to the
field. There's going to be a
Panthers.
turnover on
First and
down,
10
so the
36.
Panthers will take over 1st and 10 at their own 36-yard line. 4 minutes, 10 seconds left here in the first half. Razorbacks holding on to a 14-0 lead over the Magnolia Panthers.
And you hate to see that drive for the Razorbacks end the way it did because depending on what happens here in the last 4 minutes, Magnolia is going to get the ball to start the second half. And not to panic or make a real big deal of that, but the Razorbacks just used 4 minutes and 40 seconds off the clock here in the second quarter and came away with nothing.
We have a quarterback keeper up the middle. He is brought down. Looks like leading the way was number 9,
Trailer.
Trailer.
Brought down by Laquan Trailer.
I think it might be the first time we called his name tonight, if not maybe just the
Gain of maybe a yard on the play. Second down,
I think
Panthers.
we called his name the first tackle that was made, and been kind of quiet since. Now, granted, we've had a bunch of Hogs in each tackle.
Yeah, they've done a great job this year on the front line of putting a hat on a hat and disrupting so many plays from the opposing offenses.
So we'll have an option from Brooks, and he is wrapped up and brought down by Cam Holloway with an assist from Kent's Griffin. Kent's had a hold of him, and then
Tackle
Jordan
behind
Williams.
he went and got bumped in. Kent's had a hold of him and kind of got him turned back, and Cam Holloway just came in and finished the tackle. That would be a 3-yard loss.
So the first two plays on this series, Matt, Brooks has kept them. Third down here, you got to show discipline. They're behind the chains a little bit. They're deep in their own territory. You cannot fall for a third straight.
We're going to have a handoff that goes up the middle, and he breaks it to the right side, and he'll be brought down at the 40-yard line. I believe that was number 31 Moore on the carry. So it's going to bring up a 4th and long for
Timeout,
Panthers.
Razorbacks.
We're going to have a timeout called by the Hogs. Good decision here to try to get the ball back with a little bit of time left on the clock. So let's go ahead and take a 30-second timeout here on 98.7 Real Country, home of the Hogs.
Programs at UAHT. For more information and eligibility requirements, visit uaht.edu/arfuture. Did you know that with the Arkansas Future Grant, students can qualify to earn over 25 degrees and certificates for free at the University of Arkansas Hope Texarkana? Our Future is the newest state grant program. The purpose of this grant is to increase the education and skills of Arkansas's workforce. The grant will cover tuition and fees for certificate and associate degree programs at UAHT. For more information and eligibility requirements, visit uaht.edu/ARfuture. Did you know?
Telly Wells and Javen Davis.
It'll be 4th down for the Panthers.
If you're the Razorbacks here, you can't jump off sides. It's an automatic 5-yard penalty, and they're good. And the ball is bobbled by the punter. A high
snap. Will be touched down at the
Razorbacks will
17-yard
go
line.
down and pounce on the punter just to make sure he is down, although in high school football, Matt, correct, once the knee or the body is down with the ball and the player, they are considered down. So nonetheless, Razorbacks take over here with 2:43 left in the second quarter. See if they can punch one in from about their 18-yard line. Any takers on this being a one-play, two-play drive, and it's over with in a hurry?
Bet it will be. I got a feeling it will be. Well, I don't know. With 2 minutes and 43 seconds, they may try to eat up a little bit of the clock these first couple of plays.
With Magnolia getting the ball back in the third quarter. Yeah.
It'd be nice to get that ball in the end zone with not much time left on the clock.
I see a lot of Zephaniah Black and Tony Noble here.
And sure enough, we see Zephaniah Black on a run, and he's going to get about a yard on the carry.
Zephaniah
as
Black
he's brought
on the
down
carry.
by number 69, Kevion Smith.
Gained a yard on the play. 2nd and 9, Razorbacks from near the 18-yard
Brought down
line.
to 2:23. Razorbacks at the 17-yard line. Taking some time off the clock. You can see Coach Outlaw actually looking at the play clock, waiting for it to wind down before he actually gave Wall the signal. Now Wall's got the signal. He's got a split receiving crew. He's going to audible out of that play. Change the play up a little bit. He's going to drop back and sees Davis in the flats. Davis jump and catch, brought down by number 16.
Wall's pass is complete to Javen
Purifoy.
Davis. Tackle made by number 16, Braden Purifoy.
Looks like about a 5-yard gain on the reception.
And a good job by Javen Davis to hold on, because simultaneously
The 3rd and about 3
his
yards.
chest, he got smashed from behind. But he was kind of able to absorb that hit, and he stayed on his feet, and it took another couple Panthers to finally bring him down.
That's one of the toughest plays as a receiver is leaving your feet. 9 times out of 10, when you leave your feet, when you come down, somebody's going to be there ready to hit you. So it's going to bring up a 3rd and 4 for the Hogs.
Good 7-yard gain there by Javen Davis.
Quarterback keeper up the middle. He goes to the right side. He stays on his feet, and as he goes back the other direction, and he's finally brought down around the 7-yard line. And that may be enough for a Razorback first down.
That Razorback first down brought to you by Millway Federal Credit Union.
And it is. That's going to bring up a 1st and goal for the Hogs.
They've got Nate Wall and the Hogs marked at the 8-yard line.
45 seconds left on the clock. I would like to see one in the end zone here. We're going to have a handoff to Black as he goes up the middle. And he's going to scramble his way all the way to the 1-yard line.
And do you have a timeout in your back pocket?
He's
You've
got one left.
Razorbacks really in not a big hurry. They need to get in a little bit of a hurry here.
23 seconds, and it's going down. We'll have 2 running backs in the backfield. Braggs will go in motion. Scramble to the right side, and that pass was blocked by a defender. That's going to stop the clock with 11 seconds left.
And Nate Wall knows he had his man in the back of the end zone, but a Panther able to just kind of reach out with his left paw and get some fingers on it and was able to knock it down.
Yep.
Now, they don't use a timeout here, and they don't have to.
They're going to have one more play that they can try to get. I would imagine this will be a throwing play.
Right.
If you get it in the end zone, you get in the end zone. But if it's, that's the only pass you're going to go is for the end zone. If it's missed, it stops the clocks and it gives you another shot or possibly a potential field goal to get right before you go into the half.
Yeah, points on the board regardless is what the Hogs need to do here.
Davis in motion. It's going to be a fake handoff. That ball's up in the air, and it is batted down by number 22, Williams of the Panthers.
Those Panthers doing a good job of getting their big paws up in the air. Javen Davis wide open. Was a little fake handoff, and then Javen Davis almost out of like the slot or the backfield just kind of slipped into the flat. And, I mean, that Nate Wall, as soon as he released it, you know, he knew he had an easy pitch and catch there.
So they got another chance to go at the end zone before trying a field goal. So it looks like he's going to take the chance and try to get another one in the end zone with 8 seconds left. And we're going to get a false start or a offsides on the defense.
I'll mark them half the distance to the goal.
So that's going to move them up to the 1 yard line now. They were at the 2, now they're at the 1. 8.1 seconds left here in the first half. See if the Razorbacks can't punch one in before the half's over.
I don't know why you don't have Nate Wall behind center and Zephaniah Black on his backside.
Still want to try to get a pass here. Just due to the fact you got one timeout left. You got Telly Wells sitting in the corner. They're going to change some personnel with 15 seconds left on the play clock.
I think if he's in shotgun formation, a quick snap and over to the left side, what do you think? Just a quick out to Telly Wells, let him beat the man one-on-one.
Yep. They're going to call a timeout. Not sure I'm 100% with that timeout call, unless it's strictly that they just didn't have the formation that they wanted. But they do not have any timeouts left here with 8 seconds left on the clock. So I'm sure Outlaw's going to try one more pass, and it's got to be in the end zone with a little bit of time left on the clock.
And so just to confirm, Matt, we've got the sticks on the far side showing 4th down. Is our scoreboard simply behind on a down, or are the sticks wrong?
I believe it's 3rd down, if I'm not mistaken. What are you showing on your end? They got into the 8-yard line here. 2 plays, so it should be 3rd down.
But they've missed the last 2 plays.
Okay, so
the pass on 2nd down was deflected in the back of the end zone, and then this last pass that would have been to Javen Davis out in the flat was also batted down at the line of scrimmage.
Yep.
So I believe we are at 4th down here. And so, again, you and I just talked about, especially with Magnolia getting the ball to start the second half, go ahead and get you a field goal here. And this is just us talking, right? Just our opinion. But go ahead and get you a field goal. Go up by 3 possessions instead of just the 2, but get you a little more cushion.
Telly Wells going in motion to the far left side of the field. We're going to see a quick route here.
Yeah, he's going to beat his man.
Oh, we're going to have a quarterback keeper as Wall dives into the end zone. And he said he was short, but there was no way. He clearly looked like he got across the end zone. And we're trying to figure out what is going on.
And that's a real shame, again, that we don't have official use of a replay system. And
I mean, Wall got in there, and he dove across, and he extended them arms out. And you can see on camera here,
he's got running backs coach Dennis Johnson with his arm around his neck. And to your point, Matt, you could read Nate Wall's lips saying, I got across. I held the ball out.
Yeah, that one really surprised me there on that call.
So that's going to be the 3rd possession.
I mean, they're on the 1-inch yard line right now.
That's going to be the 3rd possession now where the Hogs come away empty-handed.
So 1.5 seconds left on the clock, and the Panthers are unable to kneel on this ball, so they are going to have to run a play, but they are in a serious position right now. If the Hogs can get back there, and we're going to have a flag on the play for a delay of game.
Well, they can't go much further back.
No, that ball will not move. He can literally just go pick that ball up and put it right back down. I mean, they should have a rule in football when you're in that position, you take the down away from them. Yeah. Hogs all over the line. Is this going to be a quick pass? He's just going to throw that ball out of bounds. That's actually a very smart play from the Magnolia Panthers. He literally just took 2 steps back and threw that ball out of bounds. Very smart play. However, it would have been too smart if it would have had a little bit of time left on the clock. But that will end the first half. So the Razorbacks will go into halftime leading 14-0 over the Magnolia Panthers. So let's take a 60-second timeout here for 60 seconds, and then we'll come back on. And so we didn't get a chance to meet with the guys this week for Talking Hogs at the half. However, last week we were unable to play Talking Hogs at the half, so we're going to run that interview with Kent Griffin and Nate Wall here in just a little bit. But let's go ahead and take a 60-second timeout. You're listening to Real Country 98.7, home of the Hogs.
I do feel that the Collegiate Academy prepared me academically and socially. For me, the transfer between high school and college was the same. It was easy.
I do feel like it has. I was able to be fully immersed into a college campus during my high school years, which has prepared me a lot for attending the U of A as a freshman.
I do believe that the Collegiate Academy did prepare me academically and socially for U of A because academically, I was already used to a college class environment, so classes up here aren't really too different from how they are at the Collegiate Academy. And socially, it helped me, I was able to navigate the college campus better than I would have if not for attending the Collegiate Academy.
The Collegiate Academy prepared me for college in the sense of the workload. The workload in college and the Collegiate Academy is very similar in the sense that you do have to study to pass an exam. It's very time genuine, but also you get into the college atmosphere where you get to meet people and the social transition is a little bit easier.
What I would say my favorite thing about the Collegiate Academy is, kind of going back to the last question, is how I was able to get used to a college environment before actually coming to a four-year university like the University of Arkansas.
My favorite thing about the Collegiate Academy would have to be it prepared me for a lifetime of studies.
My favorite thing about the Collegiate Academy was being in a small
With the
environment.
Arkansas Future Grant, students can qualify to earn over 25 degrees and certificates for free at the University of Arkansas Hope Texarkana. Our Future is the newest state grant program. The purpose of this grant is to increase the education and skills of Arkansas's workforce. The grant will cover tuition and fees for certificate and associate degree programs at UAHT. For more information and eligibility requirements, visit uaht.edu/arfuture. Did you know that with the Arkansas Future Grant, students can qualify to earn over 25 degrees and certificates for
This is the Collegiate Academy.
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 This is the Collegiate Academy. This is the Collegiate Academy. If I could describe the Collegiate Academy in a few words, it would be welcoming and very comforting.
If I could describe the Collegiate Academy in a few words, it would be a great opportunity that allows freedom.
If I could describe the Collegiate Academy in a few words, it would be, it provides us with a helpful environment.
If I could describe the Collegiate Academy in a few words, it would be a relaxed, friendly atmosphere.
If I could describe the Collegiate Academy in a few words, it would be a college experience while in high school.
If I could describe the Collegiate Academy in a few words, it would be getting a real life experience and be better prepared for the workforce.
If I could describe the Collegiate Academy in a few words, it would be calm, challenging, and exciting.
If I could describe the Collegiate Academy in a few words, it would be a tight-knit community.
If I could describe the Collegiate Academy in a few words, it would be the college experience.
If I could describe the Collegiate Academy in a few words, it would be a useful experience to its students in order to transfer to a four-year university.
If I could describe the Collegiate Academy in a few words, it would be, we are a family.
The red line is under the direction of Christy Wade. It is led by Captain Ansley Richardson, Senior Lieutenant Grace Otwell, Lieutenant Bella Berry, Lieutenant Gracie Easley, and Lieutenant Keely Thomas Caldwell. This week's dancers of the week are junior line member Rachel Massey and sophomore line member Journey Burris. Tonight, the red line will be performing a kick routine to the final countdown by Europe.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to an exciting announcement from Arkansas High School. We are thrilled to present to you part of our performance of the 2023-2024 Arkansas Razorback Band. But first, we would like to highlight our Marcher of the Week, Deborah Dillard. Congrats, Deborah! And our Section of the Week is the Color Guard. Now, you are about to be transported to a world of enchantment and wonder as the Razorback Show Band takes you on a musical journey like no other. Prepare to be captivated by the mesmerizing melodies and vibrant rhythms of the Dreams of Persia. Under the exceptional direction of AJ Garcia, Andrea Green, Phil House, Derek Camp, Lauren Eckstein, and Ali Gadea, this year's performance promises to be an unforgettable experience. Drum majors, Emma Cahey and Grayson Narins. Is your band ready? Our first solo of the evening is by Corey Cheatham. Duet by Jared Lee and Oliver Golson.
Carpet and fly to another Arabian night.
You don't want to go for a ride, do you? We could get out of the palace, see the world.
Is it safe?
Sure, do you trust me?
What?
Do you trust me?
Yes.
Ladies and gentlemen, get up and cheer for your 2023-2024 Razorback band.
Have they called any numbers out on the pick 'em? Okay.
If you purchased a split the pot ticket, and we'll give you a second to get those handy so you can see if it's your number that I call out. All right, if you got your split the pot tickets out, here is the winning number: 893525. Once again, the winning ticket number is 893525. And I understand the winning ticket's going to be worth quite a bit tonight. So go $306 to be exact. So if you didn't get a split the pot ticket this time, next home game you need to buy one or several. But once again, the winning ticket number is 893525. If that is your winning ticket number, go to the table underneath the stands and collect your winnings. Thank you very much. We appreciate you participating. Razorbacks will kick off to begin the second half.
Passing touchdowns, of course, will be Nate Walworth.
Once again, your score, Panthers 0, Razorbacks 14. Hayden Moya to kick off for the Razorback.
We'll shout out some more individual stats that we have here in just a little bit as we get ready for the kickoff now, as Hayden Moya is getting set to kick from the 40-yard line. Razorbacks will be going towards the west end zone.
And Matt, if you've already forgotten about the really fun dance that we saw from Mr. Kent Griffin, that sack total from 5 went to 6 in the first half. So put another notch in the belt for Kent Griffin.
Hayden Moya kicks downfield.
It's a really deep kick, by the way.
That ball is going to land at the goal line where it is bobbled around the 2-yard line. And he is immediately sucked up by number 15, Braggs. And it looks like also
Dismute
that number
on the
25.
return.
I think that was also number 25, Kobe Burris. Got down there after the kick. And the Panthers are going to start deep back. And they're going to have a 1st and 10 starting at the 3-yard line. They got 97 yards to go.
That's the start that you'd hope for if you're the Razorbacks, Matt, defensively. You kick it deep, it's going to be very unexpected.
Penalty flag, offsides, the call against the Razorback.
And they called an offsides on the kickoff team. So they're going to move that ball back 5 yards and re-kick after an amazing start to the half. And it's going to be brought back due to a penalty for offsides. And Brandon Dad just sent Kaylee a text and said he needs to know what the score is. So apparently we didn't say the score enough. You want to tell Dad what the score is?
It's 14-0 Razorbacks. It's 14-0 Razorbacks. For everybody listening out there in the Riddle household, it's 14-0 the Razorbacks. There is another team on the field called the Panthers, but it is 14-0 Razorbacks.
So we're going to restart this kickoff here to start the opening half, and we'll see if old Hayden Moya has got a leg to put it back down there again, or if he's going to try something different. But we only have 2 deep backs for the Panthers. That'll be looks like number 15, Kamarian Burton, and not sure the other number. Looks like it may be number 7, Emil Martin.
So instead of a 60-yard kick, let's see if Hayden Moya can knock it 65 yards.
And he's shortened up on his stance. So I'm sure we're going to see a blue kick right here. Actually, you can see looks like Coach Outlaw waving up to get the clock started back at 12 minutes. 12 minutes back on the clock. We're going to bump 12 minutes back up on the clock. There we go. Now we're ready to set off and kick off. So Moya's going to angle himself short right here.
They even sent part of the coaching staff up here, Matt, to get on us and make sure we were on top of that.
Moya kicks it high in the air, and that's going to land around the 10-yard line, where he will take it to the right side, breaks it back across field, and he is just wrapped up by number 5, Malik Dangerfield, as they kind of danced out there around the 15-yard line and finally threw him down. And they're going to give him a little bit of forward progress and start that at about the 20-yard line, I believe. Well, that's going to be the 23-yard lines where they're going to start them out at.
It'll be
first and 10 for the Panthers. Score 14-0. Razorbacks leading as we start this second half off with 11 minutes, 51 seconds. First down and 10 for the Panthers.
Matt, I was writing some notes down. What was that score again?
Will be 14-0 Razorbacks.
Let's add to it, fellas.
Have a motion, and it's going to be a handoff up the middle. And he'll be brought down again by number 5, Malik Dangerfield, after a 10-yard gain on the carry. And that was number 5, Roach, on the carry.
Of Amari Roach. First down, Panthers.
Ball now sitting at the 34-yard line of the Panthers. First and 10. After a 10-yard carry by Amari Roach.
First play for the Panthers, fresh out of the gate, and up the gut into the teeth of the defense of the Razorbacks. Not the start that the Hogs are looking for.
Brooke takes a snap, fakes a handoff option to the right, And he is swallowed up. And it looks like leading the way would be Christian Roberts.
Brooks keeps it, brought down by several Razorbacks, including
they're
number
going to
9,
get him
Laquan
back to the
Traylor.
line of scrimmage.
No gain on the play. 2nd and 10.
And so far for Magnolia, thankfully, if you're a Hog fan, there's not been really any threat from the feet of Antonio Brooks.
No. So Brooks hands off up the middle to Roach as he is brought down. He's going to be brought down by, is that number 9? Looks like he is.
That's Dangerfield.
Roach carries it out. Dangerfield on the
It's been a busy
tackle.
man here coming up from the secondary and
Bring up
just
3rd
beyond the line of
and 7
scrimmage.
for
He didn't
the
allow
Panthers
Noble
from
but
the
about 1
37.
yard there, Matt.
So it's going to bring up a 3rd and 8 or 3rd and 7 for the Panthers. And it's going to be a option to the right. He's going to break it back upfield as Kent Griffin hits him and knocks his helmet off. And that was, they gave him half a yard. And so it's going to bring up a 4th and 6. And we'll have Kent Griffin come off the field as his helmet came off for him to readjust that. And we'll have Telly Wells and Javen Davis back deep to receive this punt from number 17, Braden Sanchez.
So it's a bend, don't break moment for the Razorbacks defensively opening up this second half. The first big run up the gut went for a first down and a move of the chains, but they hold stiff on the next 3 plays and force Magnolia into the first punt of the night.
And that punt was almost blocked, and it's a high, short punt that's going to take a Panther bounce. And it's going to take a big bounce for the Panthers, and it's going to be brought down around the 17-yard line where it's going to start for the Hogs here in the second half.
Matt, that ball landed out of the sky on the 35-yard line.
Yeah. I was about to say, it looked like it landed around the 35, 40-yard line and rolled all the way to the 17.
And you called it, you know, obviously sitting up here. As soon as he put his foot on the ball, that being their punter, there were 5 Razorbacks with their arms stretched out in the air, and he wasn't able to get the full extension on his leg there.
No, he definitely short punted that one. So we'll have 1st and 10 for the Hogs. They'll have a split receivers. Black will be to the right of Wall. 1st and 10 at the 18-yard line. It's a handoff to Black up the gut. He is met by
Zephaniah Black on the carry.
Panthers, Arion Harris. They're going to get him back to the line of scrimmage.
No gain on the play. 2nd and 10 Razorback.
Hesitation. They're looking to try to get this tempo up. Ball takes a snap, quick pass, and it was deflected by.
Ball's pass is tipped at the line of scrimmage. That'll bring up 3rd down Razorback.
That's going to bring up a 3rd and 10 for the Backs. With 8 minutes and 48 seconds left here in the 3rd quarter.
Matt, that's about the 3rd time already tonight, maybe the 4th. The Panthers have done a good job of just getting
throwing a paw up there.
Getting their entire body, you know, in the air off the ground. Sometimes that can come back to haunt you on a fake, and you know, a lot of times a quarterback will go to get the defensive end up and get around him. But so far, the Panthers have stopped any kind of threat on some of the passes.
Split receivers fakes a handoff. Ball has to get flushed out of the pocket. He heads over down the sideline. He avoids a tackle and brought down. May it be enough for a
Balls
first down.
is knocked out of bounds.
Down out of bounds around the 28. That may be enough. We're going to have to see where they mark this ball.
Yeah, the sticks are on the far
Ball
side.
will be spotted at the 28-yard line.
That is going to be a Razorback.
First off of the play is a Razorback first down.
Referee signaled to move the chains.
That Razorback first down brought to you by Graphic Packaging. First and 10.
Hogs on a 10-yard quarterback scramble by Nate Wall. 3 receivers to the left, single to the right. Going to have Black going motion over to the right. Drop back, quick pass over to Braggs as he makes the catch. Gets upfield, hits the corner, and finally brought down as he gets into Panther territory. Well, they're going to say he went out of bounds a little earlier than that. There is a
Gabriel
flag
Braggs on the reception.
Walking back. Let's see what this
Flag on the play.
is. The flag was thrown far from the other side of the field.
I get Telly Wells for holding other offensive pass interference.
We are going to have a hold against
Holding is the call against the Razorbacks.
So that play is going to be brought back. Oh, replay it down. Looks like it's going to be a 5-yard penalty from the spot of the foul. That's going to be a second 8. First and 8. First down. Split receiver, black to the left of the wall. Ball walks up. Makes a change. Soft on the receivers on the far right side. Go over to Davis on the right side as he barely gets brought down. Thought he was going to get past
David Davis on the reception. Tackle made by Malkai Ross.
That's the same play that we just saw the penalty on. The Razorbacks just switched it
Bring
to
up
the far
second
side,
and 4
the near
for the
side of the
Razorbacks.
field, and it was a further throw across for Nate Wall.
Quick pass again over to Burnell. That ball was just a little off.
Ball's pass attempt to DeAndre Burnell is incomplete. That'll bring up third
That's
down.
going to bring up a 3rd and 4. Third and 4 for the Hogs. The ball sitting at the 34-yard line. I mean, they're definitely doing exactly what you would want to do in this kind of situation. If they're going to play that far off, I mean, hit them quick routes and get them 4 or 5-yard gains. Try to make them make that open field tackle. It seems to be working for the Hogs as they're slowly moving downfield. 3rd and 4, Wall takes the snap. Looking back over to, is that Burnell over here on this corner? And just down the
Pass attempt to Burnell is incomplete. That'll bring up 4th down Razorbacks.
Able to make the catch. It's going to bring up a 4th and 4. They're going to keep the offense in before we'll see Wall drop back a few steps and punt this ball away, and that's exactly what they're going to do. He gets a high-hanging punt that lands around the 28-yard line and rolls, and it gets a Razorback roll, and it is going to be brought down all the way to the 2-yard
That punt takes a Razorback roll.
from Nate Wall as he punted that from the 34-yard line. That's going to be about a 60-yard punt after the roll.
So Magnolia's punt rolls 18, 20 yards. Nate Wall says, I'll see your 20 and I'll roll you about 35 or 40.
I mean, that was just a heck of a roll. Razorback.
It'll be first
Panthers
and
didn't have
10
anybody
for the
downfield.
Panthers. Ball
So, I
running
mean, that
outside
was
the
just
2-yard
a
line.
perfect execution of the quick punt from the quarterback. So the Panthers will take over first and 10 at their own 2-yard line with 7 minutes and 48 seconds left here in the 3rd quarter.
Just like he drew it up in the sand on that punt from Nate Wall.
That motion is going to be a quick handoff to number 5, Mayor Roach. He's going to get 2 yards on the carry.
Roach's been a busy man back there, and so far it seems like he's the only featured back to open the second half. Makes you wonder when the likes of
Roach on the carry.
Dismuke and Rodarius
Kinley on
Moore.
the tackle. Short gain
I
on
don't
the play.
even see Dismuke on the field anymore.
And I'll be honest with you, number 2,
Oh, there he is. He went in motion.
Jamie and Young, their lead back, we haven't called his number at all.
Flag on the play. All sides the call against the Razorbacks.
Well, that's going to be a fall or a offsides on the defense. So they're going to move 5 yards up. And that's going to bring up a 2nd and short for the Panthers. So 2nd and 3.
After the penalty,
Ball
bring up
setting at
2nd
the
and
10-yard
over
line.
2.
This is the most undisciplined defensively we've seen
Flag
the
on the play.
Razorbacks so far this season.
We're going to have some more dirty laundry thrown. That looks like it's going to be false start on the offense. I don't think they had everybody set. So they're going to move them back to the 5-yard line.
Call
To
start
gain
the
the
call
first down
against the
is the
Panthers.
12-yard line. So 2nd and 7 for the Panthers.
After the penalty, 2nd and 7 Panthers from their own 5.
This is shaping up to be a defensive second half, and you know the first half was as well because the Razorbacks missed opportunities, but they're swapping punts, they're swapping more dirty laundry.
Yep.
A lot of sloppiness going on here. We need some offensive excitement from the Razorbacks when we can.
Brooks hands off to the running back, Roach. He is met immediately at the line of scrimmage by numerous Hogs.
And I see McQuan Traylor coming out of that pile, and he's got his arms and his chest bowed up and tensed a little bit, and a lot of excitement. So I feel like he might have been the first Hog there to meet Roach head on.
So 3rd and long for the Panthers. going to have 7 yards to get the first down. Brooks comes to the line. He's going to quarterback keep it on the far right side, coming towards our sideline, and he's going to be brought down right around the 12.5-yard line.
Is pushed out of bounds.
That may be enough for a Panther first down.
The official on the near side, closest to us, standing in about the same spot as the official on the far side, and now the
13-yard line,
chains
first
have
down,
been
Panthers.
for the first down.
So first down for the Panthers on the quarterback keeper from Brooks as he gets down the sideline and manages to gain 8 yards on the carry. So first and 10, ball setting at the 17 or the 18-yard line. Or no, I'm sorry, the 13-yard line. The Panthers are a lot slower on getting their plays off this second half. The first half they were real quick. It's going to be a handoff up the middle. He misses a tackle, runs into the official, and the ball is on the ground. And looks like Christian Roberts ends up with it. And he does.
And don't you know, Matt, that the Magnolia players, the fans, they're going to be hot about their running back running straight into the official.
And we have another flag on the play that was thrown from the Panther sideline.
And we might get some unsportsmanlike conduct from the Panthers, maybe bumping an official after the play. Not real sure. We'll get it sorted out.
As the officials are down there huddled up around the 30-yard line to see what this call on the play is. But that ball came bouncing out downfield, and Christian Roberts just bear hugged it on the ground.
Unsportsmanlike
So
conduct.
it is unsportsmanlike conduct
Panthers.
on the Panther sideline. So they're going to give them a 15-yard penalty, and that's going to put the Razorbacks starting first and 10.
It'll be first down.
At the,
Razorbacks at the
looks
Panther
like
16.
16-yard line. Good start here for the Razorbacks in great field position. Already inside the red zone with first down. Wall takes the snap, throws across field to Telly Wells, and it is a pitch and catch as Zephaniah Blind goes around the corner.
The pitch to Zephaniah
We're going
Blind.
to get 9 on that play. So it's going to bring up a 2nd and 1 as the ball now is
Second and 1,
17-yard line.
Razorbacks at
6
about
minutes and
the
13
8-yard
seconds
line.
left on the clock here for the third quarter. 14-0 the score. Razorbacks leading the Panthers. Next play is a handoff to Black as he is brought down in the backfield. He's going to lose a yard on that carry. That'll bring up 3rd and 2. Ball setting on
Black
the
on the
8-yard
carry.
line.
Actually lost a yard
Matt,
on
that
the play.
previous
It'll bring up
play
third
there
down
on the
Razorbacks.
catch from Telly Wells, does that fall under the category of the old hook and ladder?
Yeah. Yep. That's exactly what that is. The old hook and ladder.
And, you know, you see that play at the end of a football game where somebody's down by less than a touchdown. And,
And
it's
they
just,
tried to run it multiple times tonight.
They did. They tried it in the first half.
And it's going to be a handoff to Noble as he goes up in the middle and scores on the 8-yard touchdown run by the freshman Tony Noble. Touchdown Razorbacks. Bring the score 20-0. Razorbacks going to the swinging gate 2-point conversion formation. Rodney Kinley standing back behind 7 blockers. They're going to snap it directly to him. And we're going to have a flag on the play.
Conversion.
Looks like it's going to be offsides on the defense. No, it's going to be a false start
False
against
start
the
to call
offense. They're
against
going
the
to push them
Razorbacks.
back 5. And I imagine they're going to send Hayden Moya on to kick the PAT. And that's who we see running out to the field. Hayden Moya will come on to attempt the PAT. It'll be held by the punter, number 80, Joshua Sharp.
Hayden Moyer will attempt the
And the center is
extra
going to be
point.
number 48, Sawyer Kagi. So we'll have a 15-yard or 25-yard. Oh, so
And that's-
trying to
that
attempt the
point is no
kick.
good.
They got back there
5:34 to go
quick
in the third
again.
quarter.
And
Your
they
score,
brought down the
Panthers
holder
0,
before
your
he could ever get the ball on the
Razorbacks
tee. And so that PAT is no good.
Seen some odd things on PAT attempts, or I should just call them PATs because it is point after touchdown. But nonetheless, we've seen some goofy stuff here.
Yeah, and that just shows the speed that the Panthers do have on their special teams. I mean, he got back there quick. I mean, he couldn't even get the ball down and had a guy wrapping him up already. But so a score now 20-0 in favor of the Razorbacks. 5 minutes and 34 seconds left on the clock for the third quarter.
And Melvin Cross back.
Hayden Moya set to kick off from the 40-yard line.
Hayden Moya to kick off for the Razorbacks.
Looks like we're only going to have 2 deep backs for the Panthers, as the Panthers are very aware of the onside kick capabilities that the Razorbacks hold on the kickoff team.
Well, no need for that here. You've got a quarter and a half left to play. You don't take anything for granted, but it's been a defensive battle tonight.
Yep.
Magnolia's not pushed through anything extensively on the Hogs defense, so just go keep the Panthers offense at bay.
And they pooch kick it around the 33-yard line, where it was caught by number 8. Antonio Brooks, the quarterback. And they're going to start first and 10 at the 35-yard line. Clock at 5 minutes and 34 seconds left here in the third quarter.
It'll be first and 10 Panthers from there on 35.
Defense out on the field. Well, just look at the size of Kent Griffin out there on the field as he's sitting there at nose guard. That's a big boy.
What you think 75 across from him is thinking about? And for those of you that don't know,
look at it, and it's about an 8 to 10 inch difference, if not more than that.
We've got a big screen here in front of us, so Matt and I get the pleasure of seeing these Hogs up close like you would on your TV.
Tackle brought down by Lee Smith and Christian Roberts on the quarterback keeper. It looked like that play kind of got blown up by Kent Griffin.
Christian Roberts
was looking to hand off to his running back and kind of had to just burst field and try to get upfield.
Second down from the 40.
He manages to gain 5 yards on the carry, so the ball now at the 40-yard line, 2nd and 5 for the Panthers.
Yeah, Kent's is a young man that you don't want to meet one-on-one in the hole trying to get around him.
It's going to be a handoff to number 2, Young, as he goes up the middle, and he is brought down by Kent Griffin, followed by Cam Holloway.
A couple of staples on that Hogs defense. McQuan Traylor on the opposite bookend
Tackle made
of
by
Kent
Griffin.
There's a reason that these guys get their names called
Young
many
on the carry for the Panthers.
throughout the evening every Friday.
Third
and 3 for the Panthers. As they look to the sideline, look at the wristband, get the play. Brooke takes a snap. He's going to keep it himself and go up the middle, and he is met. And leading the way on that will be number 72. Harlon
Holloway.
Coach Outlaw, on that note, I gotta say it while I'm thinking about
1 yard short of the first down. Bring up 4th and 1 from the 44.
And there's one more on our list here. Can't find him at the moment. Carlin and Cam are brothers.
Okay.
Yeah.
Over there. The 2 Holloway brothers. So 4th and 1 now for the Panthers. Quarterback hands off to Young. He is grabbed by Kinley as he holds on to him for dear life. It looks like he may have stopped him, and he did.
He stopped short.
And I'm sorry, that was McQuan Traylor that was holding on to him and prevented him from getting to the mark. And that's going to be a turnover on down, so the Hogs will take over 1st and 10 at the Panthers' 44-yard line.
And the defense for the Razorbacks stands tall once again on that front line.
1st and 10 Razorbacks from the Panther 44.
Just as we expect from a guy like that, a leader on the defensive side, comes through once again, puts the Hogs in great field position. 44 yards to go for hopefully the next round of pay dirt.
Yep.
And we will add points to that scoreboard if the Hogs and Mr. Nate Wall can start marching up and down the field here.
And McQuan Traylor just all over the field. He's only a sophomore.
Yeah. By very, very, very bright future for McQuan Traylor.
Ball drops back. It is a hook and go for Telly Wells, and it was defended perfectly by number 10, Malvern Cross, as he just happened to get a hand on it. And Telly Wells had 2 or 3 steps on him, but Martin just happened to get that hand up there and knock that ball down. Great route by Telly Wells. So that's going to bring up a 2nd and 10 for the Hogs.
And another wonderful throw by Nate Wall. Nate's been just dropping that thing in the bucket pretty consistently tonight. Haven't come through on the other end a lot, so the stats will look skewed, but Nate Wall doing his job tonight.
Deep pass to Braggs as he catches around the 15-yard line, and he is into the end zone for the 44-yard touchdown pass from Nate Wall to number 15, junior Gabriel Braggs. That's going to bring the score 26-0 in favor of the Razorbacks. So I was going to touch on something that I saw in our stats that we had. I want to say I saw it on one of these sheets. But Nate Wall has a 102 pass rating on the year. Let's see. I saw it somewhere. It's in here somewhere.
The Hogs in more of a traditional 2-point conversion attempt. Nate Wall shotgun takes the snap, and Telly Wells dives for the pylon front right corner and sneaks in for the 2-point conversion. It is good, and that will put your Hogs up now by the score of 28-0 with 3:17 left in the third period.
All right, here's our stats. So I knew I had it in here somewhere. So the quarterback rating as of coming up to this game, Nate Wall is 104.5% at a QB rating. So, I mean, just doing phenomenal.
He is the leader of that offense. And it helps when you got wonderful receivers and great young men in Telly Wells and Gabriel Braggs, Javen Davis, DeAndre Burnell. Coach Outlaw, day in and day out, just talks so highly of how good these young men are. They're wonderful young men even before being football players.
For sure.
So proud of how they represent not just their team, but the school district and their fan base.
Wall is setting so far going into this game 507 passing
for the Panthers
already in 3 games.
They've got 575 total as a team. William Dunbar.
Dunbar's got 35, and Dunbar's got 33, and Burnell's got 35. So I mean, still 575 passing yards. As the bloop kick goes in, and it's sitting around the 2-yard line. It is falling on by a Hog. It looks like that is number 21, Jordan Williams. That falls on top of that ball as it just bounced in between all of the Panthers receiving crew and just stayed on the ground. And you just saw nothing but Cardinal running in, flying in, and diving on top of that ball. So the Razorbacks are going to have 1st and 10 at the Panthers' 24-yard line.
And if they can take advantage of another quick strike here at the 25, just inside of it, as you said, Matt, but another 1, 2, maybe 3-play series.
Yep.
And if you can just put the dagger, so to speak, in the backside of these Magnolia Panthers and go up 35-36-0, you're going to get the mercy rule clock to start running.
I was just about to say that.
You're going to get another impressive win.
Yep.
It took some adjustments at halftime of this coaching staff, but I think they might have figured it out, and kudos to them. They just kept pressing on, and they have left the Magnolia Panthers just utterly confused out here tonight.
So split receivers. And we're going to have Noble at the running back position. We're going to have a quick flag. It's going to be a pass in the end zone caught by Gabriel Braggs.
But don't get too excited. Not just yet.
And that was thrown from DeAndre Burnell. Looked like it was a lateral. However, there was a flag on the play to start, as there was a few players that were just kind of standing around. And it's going to be a false start on the offense, so that play was dead as it happened. And we got Outlaw over here stating his case as he's talking to one of the officials.
So on the false start real quick, are they going to get that on a technicality of guys weren't down in a position and they'll say they weren't set? Because you alluded to them just kind of standing around and like they were, playing dumb as if they were looking at the sideline for the play to come in, and then all of a sudden the ball was snapped.
So it is a false start against the offense.
Outlaw can't
And it looks like
believe.
that was kind of a design
Call
play.
against
That's what I'm getting at.
Like
You
a
know,
design play to
look over and
Yeah.
act like you're getting a play in from Coach Outlaw.
Yep.
Yeah.
So it will be a 5-yard penalty. So it'll be 1st and 15 for the Hogs as the ball now sitting at the 29-yard line of the Panthers.
If you're Coach Outlaw, Nate Wall, that one didn't work for things that you feel that were incorrect on the officiating, as we see.
Outlaw still stating his case to the head official.
And we see the referee over the football right now, and he's laughing, kind of smiling at the offense. You can tell is talking among themselves.
You can see him making fun of the way that Burnell threw the ball. You can see him kind of mocking how Burnell just kind of sideways threw it like it was, I got to get rid of it.
Well, he did have a Magnolia guy that finally, looked up and went, oh, I know what they're doing. And so he bolts for Burnell, and Burnell just had to get rid of it.
So now the head official is actually going to talk to the sideline judge on the opposite side of the field that threw the flag. And, Outlaw stating his case. He's really sticking to his guns on this, on letting them know, like, hey, this was planned. This official knew what was going on.
Well, and I wish that in times like this we could have a microphone on the officials on the field like they do in college and pros. And it would be nice. I'd like to know who they think the guilty party is, and who they would label the false start on, unless they want to try to get the entire offensive line for not coming set.
I'm not sure what is actually going on. Is Outlaw still out there speaking to the head official, the white cap? They don't look like he's getting his way, as he's kind of shaking his head as he's walking back.
Outlaw doesn't give in easily, doesn't like to take no for an answer, as any coach out there, but he remains
After the penalty,
steadfast
it'll be
in knowing
1st and 15
that, or at
Razorbacks
least
from
believing
the
that he and his
29.
players were right in what they attempted to execute there.
Oh, most definitely. The Hogs headed back out on a 1st and 15. Clock down to 3:06 in the third quarter. As we'll have split receivers and Tony Noble in the backfield. Great seeing that freshman out here at the running back position. And they try a flea flicker, but that ball rolls around on the ground, and they're still fighting over it. And it looks like I want to see the Panthers end up with the ball. They tried to flea flicker there, and once Noble pitched the ball back to Wall, he kind of threw it out of Wall's reach, and that ball got thrown around on the ground, and the Panther player ends up on top of it. So the Panthers will take over 1st and 10 at the 40-yard line.
And I don't know, Matt, if you think it's a level of comfort that the Razorbacks offensively have gotten into where I don't want to say they're trying to get a little too cute, but you're up 4 scores.
And you just tried 2 back-to-back trick plays.
Yeah, and on the one hand, good for them for trying it just to see if it works. Maybe one day down the road you'll need it. You'll need it, and you need to know how to execute it, who you can count on in every position. But is it just one of them deals where you maybe kind of take for granted that your defense has just been outstanding once again, and they'll continue to hold up?
Quarterback keepers, he goes up the middle of the field, and he is brought down by the ankles, and the ball is on the ground. One of the officials stating that the ball was down, but he was tripped up by Lee Smith. Lee Smith did not give up on that play. His quarterback keeper up the middle got past every defensive player besides Lee Smith. It looks like that may be Lee Smith down on the field. That was kind of a rough tackle, probably knocked the breath out of him as he dove at the ankles. And Smith's helmet's off, so he's going to have to come to the sideline for a play as number 22, Jackson Cannon, comes in to fill in Lee Smith's position for the play. But it was a first down. They did say the ball was down at the 32-yard line. So a 25-yard carry from, was it 25? Roughly 25 yards from Brooks, the quarterback, on the quarterback keeper. So a handoff to Roach as he goes down immediately. They're going to give him a 3-yard gain on the play.
Roach on the carry, brought down by Coastal Razorbacks.
Number 3.
Pick up 3 on the play. Second down
He's
from the
actually got his
Razorback
shoulder
29.
pads off and sitting on the bench. He was walking towards the locker room. So I'm sure if that man's injured or what's going on, but it looks like we won't see any more of Dismute tonight.
But I do wonder, even coming back from the locker room, what's he wearing his jersey and shoulder pads with him for?
We're going to have a handoff to Roach, and he is met immediately. And that's going to get him back to the line of scrimmage. Bring up a 3rd and 7 for the Panthers, as the ball now sitting at the
No gain on that play.
29-yard line. Minute 30 left here in the third quarter. Razorbacks leading 28-0.
As we await on this next snap on 3rd down for the Panthers, real quick, I've got an update. Texas High was up a little bit ago, 16-7 at the half on, I believe they were going to Hallsville.
Yeah, they were in
tonight.
Hallsville tonight.
So Hallsville there, and then LE trailing Sulphur Springs 29-22, and that game at the half at this point.
Handoff on the outside, and the ball is on the ground.
Roach on the carry.
There's a low shot to the ankles of Roach, and that ball goes flying. But
that's the second time tonight,
He
too.
was
Jordan
tripped up
Williams
by
has
Jordan
come
Williams.
around
There's a flag on
a
the play.
corner and delivered a big blow to the lower half of a Magnolia Panther runner.
Holding the call
looks
against
like,
the Panthers. There's
looks
a
like
official
Roach
timeout for an injury.
hitting the Nuggets on that play as he's headed back over to the sideline, knowing that that's painful. But we do have an injured player down on the field, and that is a Panther player that is down. And they're sending in the medical trainers to assess what's going on. It looks like it's a leg injury.
They do have the young man sitting up, so not a dire situation, of course.
Not sure if maybe a cramp or something like that yet.
And
Possibly a cramp.
It looks like that.
He's
Eight,
give that
Nicholas
Panther a hand.
Wynn.
They must have some good physical trainers over there at Magnolia.
He just runs off the field.
He just got up and ran off like he bounced up off the trampoline.
And the way they were kind of moving his leg back and forth, or maybe kind of like his knee kind of just popped a little bit, and they were trying to get it back in place, and he jogged right off the field afterwards.
Once again,
We'll see what
holding is the call
was.
against the Panthers.
Flag was on the Panthers. They moved the ball back, and it's going to be 3rd and 13 or 3rd and 12 for the Magnolia Panthers.
After the
Get ready to
penalty,
get back
3rd and
into
12
action.
Panthers from the Razorback 34.
Panthers getting into a tight formation as they have no wideouts.
The clock continues to run down to 45 seconds here in the third period. Magnolia still very patient going to the line tonight.
We're going to have a drop back pass as he's looking deep downfield in the corner and is broken up by number 5, Malik Dangerfield.
Dangerfield got his head, his body around just at the last second and just put that little right chicken wing up there in the air and was able to bat that ball down. Good recovery skill there by Dangerfield. They had 2 receivers, Matt, out there on that right side that had beaten both the safety and the corner there in the right part of the field.
I mean, as much as we don't like to say it, if that would have been a deeper pass and would have been more on the money,
Fourth down,
I mean, he had a
Panthers.
step or two on our D-backs.
Yeah, because even though the guy that Dangerfield defended towards the middle of the field, I thought that ball was going to go more towards the edge of the sidelines and just kind of hit that fade pattern towards the front pylon of the end zone.
Yep. And so 4th and 12 now for the Panthers. 30 seconds left on the clock here in the third quarter. Razorbacks with a 28-point lead over the Panthers. Brooks drops back looking for a pass as he throws it and it is not in time.
Pass is incomplete.
It's going to be incomplete.
Coverage over there by Floyd
Down, so the Hawks
and
will
Williams.
take over with 24 seconds left in the third quarter, and they will start 1st and 10 at their own 32-yard line.
First and 10 Razorbacks from there on 34.
So 1st and 10 for the Hogs. Hogs waiting, trying to get that 35-point lead to keep this clock running. If they do score here before the quarter is over with, that next quarter will only be 12 minutes long. So Wall in the shotgun with 3 receivers to his right, a single to the left. Noble in at running back as he is standing to the left of Wall. Wall drops back, looking downfield. Got Braggs open on the far corner, and he throws over to number 16, and it's caught by Lott. And he's caught that around the 45-yard line. And so they are now into Panther territory.
Nice tippy-toe job there, too, by Ronnie Lott.
Yeah.
It is Rondarius Lott.
Rondarius.
But even Coach Outlaw has called him Ronnie Lott. So that's always fun to say.
Turned around, caught that ball, and managed to tiptoe that sideline before going out of bounds at the 45-yard line of the Panthers. So 1st and 10 for the Hogs. Wall drops back, quick pass over to Braggs. Braggs gets tackled around the 37-yard line. 8 seconds left on the clock. Hogs trying to get another snap in before. I don't think they're going to get it. And they will not, as the third quarter will come to an end. Razorbacks leading the Panthers 28-0 as we get ready to switch sides of the field. Let's take a 30-second timeout here on 98.7 Real Country, home of the Hogs.
Now is the time to start calling your ride to pick you up.
At the University of Arkansas Hope Texarkana, Our Future is the newest state grant program. The purpose of this grant is to increase the education and skills of Arkansas's workforce. The grant will cover tuition and fees for certificate and associate degree programs at UAHT. For more information and eligibility requirements, visit uaht.edu/arfuture. Did you know that with the Arkansas Future Grant, students can qualify to earn over 25 degrees and certificates for free at the University of Arkansas Hope Texarkana? Our Future is the newest state grant program. The purpose of this grant is to increase the education and skills of Arkansas's workforce. The grant will cover tuition and fees for certificate and associate degree programs at UAHT. For more information and eligibility requirements, visit uaht.edu/arfuture. Did you know that with the Arkansas Future Grant, students
28-0 the score here with 12 minutes left in this game. As Razorbacks now 2nd and 2. Empty backfield, 3 receivers to the left, 2 to the right. Ball steps back into the shotgun. Takes the snap. Looking downfield for Telly Wells. He's got a step or 2 on him. And I'm surprised we don't have a pass interference as we didn't get any head turn. But it was broken up by number 7, Lemuel Martin. And so that's going to bring up a 3rd and 2 for the Hogs.
And Matt, do you think right there the refs give any credit to the fact, and I say the word credit, but they allow for the defensive backs some leniency because Tilly actually had to kind of stop, and as he turned around, but there you go. The ball was underthrown by Wall, so him having to come back into the body of the defensive back, you know, maybe that constitutes for no penalty.
Yeah, I think so. More along the lines of that than anything else. But Wells had a step or 2 on him.
Oh, definitely. He'll have a step or 2 on any defensive back.
Hand off to Black up the middle as he gets past the change for a 1st down. They're going to mark that at the 33-yard line. So it'll be 1st and 10 Razorbacks on the carry from Zephaniah Black.
Result of the play is a Razorback 1st down.
Going to have an empty backfield again. Black tapping out, bringing in Tony Noble. Black kind of hobbled to the sideline.
This tandem for the Hogs, man, has worked really well. They spell each other throughout these series. Very complimentary.
Yep. Wall drops back. He scrambles to the right side. He's got Noble open in the flat. Noble gets to the 15, the 10, and he is bumped out of bounds, and they're going to mark him down at the 3-yard line.
Nate Wall still on his backside. Magnolia defensive end that came over to tackle him is down on a knee. Nate Wall up, the young man from the Panthers up. Very heavy collision there, and what a great job, Matt. Again, we talk about and we know quarterbacks, you sometimes just have to wait till that last second to get rid of the ball. Tony Noble finally got out in the flat far enough that Nate said, hey, here you go, take it. and run with it, and he did. But simultaneously, as the Wall's trying to throw it, he's getting a big old guy landing on his backside.
Oh, for sure.
And that's just the punishment and the leadership that you got to have as the quarterback.
Wall drops back, looking at Telly Wells across the middle, but he is met as he steps into the pocket. He is brought down by number 51, George Jackson.
Several Panthers back there, including number 51, George
Picking up
Jackson.
on the play as he's kind of stubbles around for a second. But as always, we normally see that young man come back out and take off afterwards. But it looks like they're bringing in number 10, William Dunbar. Al Wall shakes it off and says, "I'm good to go." We see that every week for the last year and a half. That's what we've seen.
I think you may have to put that man in a body cast, literally on the field, put him in a body cast.
Or do what they did the first game, put him in an air cast.
In an air cast.
In some crutches for him to come off that field. You got to take his pads off of him.
You do.
And a fake handoff to Noble, and Wall is met in the backfield, but he stays on his feet, but falls down as he got tripped up. And it looks like there's a little jaw jacking going on over there as the Hawks are trying to calm down Wall, and the Panthers calming down their guy. It's going to bring up a 3rd down and goal from the 14-yard line.
Razorbacks had the ball at the 3 and now have backpedaled 11 yards. They squandered a lot of chances tonight. They are up 28-0, but Matt, that scoreboard could easily read about 50 to nothing at this point.
Oh, yeah.
But you just stay with it, stay on it, keep trying to shove that ball, these plays down the throat of the Panthers.
Ball drops back, looking in the corner of the end zone for Braggs, and it's picked off in the end zone from the
Wall's
Panthers.
pass is intercepted in the end zone.
Wall tried to
That'll be a
force that ball
touchback for the
into
Panthers.
Braggs. Did not turn out in our favor as it's picked off by number 7.
I believe
Neil
LaBelle Martin
of
got
the
that
Panthers.
interception
They're
for
going
the
to take
Panthers.
back the ball at the 20-yard line as he was brought down in the end zone. So we'll have a touchback, and they'll bring that ball to the 20-yard line. Wall not satisfied with that throw, as you can see coming off the field, a little emotional about it. Could be due to the jaw jacking that happened beforehand. However, Coach Outlaw telling him, "Hey, relax, chill out, we're good. We got a 28-point lead with 9 minutes left here in the 4th quarter. Just do your thing." So Brooks brings up the Panther offense to the line. He drops back for a pass, looking deep downfield, intended for number 22, Williams. Incomplete as it was overthrown, broken up by number 2, Marcus Floyd.
That turned out to be a track meet down that left side.
It did.
And how about the throw by Antonio Brooks? Easily the best throw we've seen tonight. That ball went 30 yards in the air before it even had a chance to touch the receiver's hands, and thankfully it didn't. Another incomplete pass, as we've seen most of the night from Brooks. But that throw right there looked like the first time that Brooks could fool somebody into thinking he's an actual passing quarterback.
Option pitch brought down by the ankles by Christian Roberts. As he gains 5 yards on the carry.
Roberts on the tackle, Roach on the carry.
So
We'll bring
you
up
tell me
3rd
there's 9
down
minutes
Panthers.
left.
3rd and 4 from their
Your defense
26.
doing a heck of a job maintaining the run game and the pass game. You leave Wall in for the next series in offense, or you go ahead and put Dunbar in and let him.
I know where you're going with that, and from a reasonable standpoint, you do, I believe, go ahead and take him out because by all accounts the game's well in hand. But, you know, we talk all the time about the competitive nature in Nate Wall. Does Outlaw give in to Nate Wall and say, hey, go put another, 7, 8 points on the board?
Oh, yeah.
I mean, it's a really good question,
Wall's over here under the tent looking at looks like probably looking at some game footage of what's going on.
Because, look, other than style points, and you know how those guys at the college ranks play for that, outside of, what you might call style points, the Razorbacks, right now, 8 minutes to go in the 4th quarter, you can't assume the game's completely over with. You take nothing for granted. However, in all reality, you've got this one wrapped up, right?
Yep.
You don't want to risk injury. You can kind of go ahead and mark this one at 1-0 in the books in conference play, getting off to the right start. And their game plan. I mean, to your point again about just the question, Matt. We're going to figure out after the game, and I'll get more detailed stats from the coaching staff late tonight, early in the morning. Outlaw will send that stuff over to me. Nate Walk has thrown the football way more. I'd almost bet that he's thrown it as much tonight as maybe all three weeks combined.
Oh, I would agree.
Tony Noble and Zephaniah Black combined, they might have rushed the ball 15 times tonight.
If that.
Yeah. And these
That's
Razorbacks, they're notorious for running the ball 40 and 50 times a game. Even with a big lead, you just turn around and hand it off. So can't wait to hear what Coach Outlaw has to say after the game tonight on their style of play and how they offensively approached these Magnolia Panthers.
And so I'm assuming with what just happened, they brought both head coaches out to the center of the field. I'm sure they've probably got them and let them know it's starting to get a little heated. We've seen some jaw jacking going back and forth. Hey, keep you guys in line. Let's play ball. Brooks brings up the offense to the line. Motion across, a sweep to the outside, and he is brought down by the ankles from number 21, Jordan Williams.
That might be just enough for the Panthers to move the chains, though. That ball is right on the 30.
They are going to move them for a first down for the Panthers. It'll be 1st and 10 at the 30-yard line. 8:18 left on the clock here in the fourth quarter. Razorbacks holding on to a 28-0 lead. And Brooks brings up the offense. And we're going to have a unique handoff, but he is met by 3 of the Razorbacks, number 40, number 9, and number 50. And that'll be Wright, Griffin, and Traylor, as all 3 of them had him in the backfield for a loss of 2 yards on the carry.
Lawson Wright, a new young man in the mix on that defense for the Hogs this year, and another good one that Coach Outlaw speaks very, very highly of. Panthers back down under center. Ball on their own 27-yard line, and Brooks back to pass. Left side, deep down the middle. Receiver for the Panthers had burned the 2 Hogs in the secondary, but an incomplete pass.
And we got some dirty laundry on the field. Looks like they're going to call a pass interference. Didn't see much contact there, but looks like they're going to call a pass interference.
And the receiver for the Panthers, Yetarian Williams, full of excitement and some body language there, expressing himself in a positive manner, knowing that the Razorbacks, it's a 28-point lead, as we've just said numerous times a while ago. The Panthers are in a position where, like any team, Matt, your pride's getting in the way.
Mm-hmm.
You're ticked off that you're down and you haven't played well. And so what do a lot of young people do? And it's just part of it, and it's the truth, but they result to immaturity.
Yep.
And if you're the Razorbacks, you can't stoop to their level with 7 minutes to close out a conference opening victory.
And off up the middle, and he is brought down. And he's brought down hard by, what is, I can't tell. It looks like that's number 40, Lawson Wright, and Cameron Holloway. Both of those guys took a little stinger as Wright head over to his sideline. Number 72, Colin Holloway heading into the field. So it's going to bring up 2nd and 10 for the Panthers with 6 minutes and 50 seconds left here in the game. And so you got to remember a lot of the emotions and everything that's going on as well. I mean, Magnolia beat the fool out of us last year.
43-15 at their place. So we unfortunately, I remember that very well. We were the perfect, what you would call the perfect homecoming opponent for Magnolia.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
They had their way with us.
So, of course, everything's going to be a little heated after that. But Razorbacks playing their game, and I was talking with, sorry to cut you off there.
No,
but I was talking with on leaving the yard on 107.9, I was talking with Chuck over there, and we were kind of going over the season on how everything's looking up, what it's going to be as we get a timeout call from the Panthers. Well, we were talking, and it was more along the lines of, so with tonight's game, playing Magnolia picked to win. Nobody's going to touch Fairview, I don't think, or Parkway. Parkview. Nobody's going to touch them. I mean, they're an unbelievable team. They've played great all year, the past few years. They're the team to beat, of course. However, so would you consider that, we're fighting for that second and third place position?
Yes, with all due respect.
Because this is the game that actually determines that. Magnolia being a good team coming in, picked to win. And
Hot Springs being, us, Hot Springs, and Parkview are all sitting at 3-0, okay? Yep. We know conference just started, but that being said, the bottom line is all three teams, with us included, are 3-0.
Yep.
Hot Springs just got knocked off last night by Parkview. The Hogs now overall will move into second place in the 5A South. Matt, this season, and what you've touched on just now in, them thinking about last year's game, every Friday night this year, the Hogs are thinking about what happened a year ago, because this season right now, this is already a season of redemption for Arkansas High.
Especially with only losing 3 seniors.
Yeah, they've got 20 on their roster now.
So a quick run out to the far left side as he's breaking a few tackles and finally brought down by Kent Griffin. That's number 20, Malik Brewer, the sophomore, on the big gain. That's probably the biggest gain of the night for the Panthers.
Easily.
But just looking in here at, the conference that we've got, D-Queen and Hope, nothing against those guys, but they're not going to really be much of a contender. Camden Fairview's 2-1. Lakeside's 2-1. Magnolia's 2-1.
Camden and Lakeside played each other last night.
They played tonight. Lakeside and Camden play each other tonight. They started at 7 o'clock tonight. And we've got a sack in the backfield. Number 72, Holloway, along with Kent Griffin, back there in the backfield, and McQuan Trailer. But yeah, so Lakeside and Camden play tonight. They're playing as we speak. But both of those teams 2-1. So in our conference, granted not all conference play, with the win tonight from the Hogs, unless something just crazy goes wrong, but with the win tonight and Fairview having the win, or what is it?
Parkview
having the win over Hot Springs. We're the only 2 teams undefeated now in the conference. And a jump ball in the center of the field, and it was broken up by number 5, Malik Dangerfield, intended for number 22, Gatrain Williams. That's going to bring up a 3rd and long for the Panthers.
And I think about how many times we've called Malik Dangerfield's name tonight back in the deep part of the secondary. Do you know if the Razorbacks do like, say, the Ohio State Buckeyes, and every time you make a great play, the next day, next week, whatever time they set aside as a coaching staff and as a group, you think the Razorbacks and Coach Outlaw have little hog stickers that they – that would be neat.
That would be cool.
That would be a really cool incentive to have the back and the side and maybe the top of your helmet
We did
covered.
that my senior year in high school, and that was the coolest thing ever. Because, you went on that field as Brooks drops back and scrambles to the left side. He runs out of bounds as Dangerfield was chasing him to the sideline.
And Dangerfield was coming in like a heated missile.
He was coming in hot.
And he saw him. Brooks was headed to the sideline, and he
saw it too. So that's going to bring up a 4th and 5 or 4th and 6 for Magnolia. But so speaking on that, I don't know. We did that in my senior year, and it was amazing. And you just come out on that field, and you've got half of your helmet filled with stickers. At the end of my senior year, my whole helmet, I was running out of spaces for it. I just felt like the coolest dude walking out there, like an Ohio State Buckeye or something. A reverse for the Magnolia Panthers is Cameron Holloway's chasing it down, and they're going to bring him out of bounds around the 30-yard line, and a big hit by Jordan Dangerfield and Jordan Williams.
Even got the defensive backs coach just excited as he could be. Their coaches are doing a little dancing on the sideline. Jordan Williams able to get that lick in. on the green part of the turf before they hit the would-be chalk. Otherwise, that would have been a penalty, and honestly kind of launched himself at the runner for Magnolia. Could have got him for
targeting action.
Well, there you go. Thank you. I was going to say spearing, but yeah, a little targeting.
But the Panthers do get a first down, a sweep to the left side by Roach, and he breaks up field, and he's got one defender to beat, and he does and gets into the end zone. And so number 4, Caleb Roach, will end the shutout on a 28-yard rushing touchdown. And that'll bring the score 28-6. Razorbacks still holding on to the lead. So we're waiting here for the point after attempt.
I think it may be a little too late for the Magnolia Panthers to try to come alive here tonight, but they pulled a few tricks out of the bag here in the series, Matt, and they finally cracked the code on the very stingy Razorback defense.
We're going to have a flag on the play for roughing the kicker, as it looks like Dangerfield and Kinley came in hot and kind of rolled over the top of the kicker on his kicking foot. They'll probably assess that on a kickoff. But the PAT was no good.
Personal foul running into the kicker, the call against the Razorbacks. 4:19 to go in the game. Their score,
The field goal, the PAT was
Panthers 7, Razorbacks 28.
Okay, so the PAT was good, and they will enforce this flag on kickoff. That should move the kickoff 15 yards. They should be kicking off from our 45-yard line. They're not moving forward yet, but we will see. I think the official has to touch the ball first and move it forward. Yep, that's what it is. So 28-7 the score. Razorbacks leading the Panthers here with 4 minutes and 20 seconds left in the game. And they will be kicking off from the left hash of the 45-yard line of the Hogs.
Xavier Crawford back deepest for the Razorbacks. After the
Kicking
penalty, the
for
kickoff will come from the Razorback.
the Panthers will be Braden Sanchez. Braden Sanchez, a junior. There in Magnolia, as he's set to kick off. At this point here, I wouldn't take a chance. I would just try to put this ball in the end zone if I can and get a touchback. That's exactly what he does. He kicks that ball deep as it lands out of the end zone for a touchback.
That'll be a touchback for the Razorbacks.
And the Razorbacks will take over at their own 20-yard line.
And Matt, you called that before it happened. I just want to know from your standpoint as a football player, a little insight on you're down 3 scores. And I know there's just 4 minutes left, but just to the fans out there listening or anybody in general wondering, why not? I mean, there's always that.
Go for that onside.
Yeah, it's never over till it's over mentality. Why not try that? And if I know it's a 50-50 shot, right, every time on an onside kick in any game, but if you recover, now you're at the Razorback 35-yard line. There's a chance of a quick strike and a score.
Yeah.
Just wonder what all goes into that thought.
I don't know if it's more of that they just hadn't moved the ball any at all or what it is, but it's a handoff to Black up the middle and jumps over a linebacker and gets 5 yards on the carry. Bring up 2nd and 5 for the Hogs.
Almost 5 yards on the play. Second down, Razorbacks from their 25.
I would imagine we'll see a lot of the run game now as the Razorbacks just try to wind that clock down. Coach Outlaw is going to look at the play clock and try to get it all the way down to probably about 10 seconds before he calls a play. Try to waste as much time off the clock as he can.
I got a little note a while ago from a guy at the paper that I'm in touch with very often. He says that the Hogs will boost in the rankings tonight with the Hot Springs loss.
Black goes upfield, gains 4 yards on the carry.
Black again on the carry.
First down mark. They're going to give them a first down, so it's going to be
The
first
result
and
of the
10
play is a
for the
Razorback
Razorbacks.
first down.
It's
That
going to really
first
try to
down
milk
brought
this
to you by
clock. So
Big
next
Dick's
week,
Barbecue.
the Razorbacks will be away, and we will be at Camden Fairview. Game time will start at 7 o'clock. We will be live here on the radio at that game. So tune in to listen if you're not at the ball field. Tune in and listen here on 98.7 as we will bring you all of Arkansas high football this year, along with a couple of the other sports. Hand off to Black, and he's met in the backfield. He is brought down by number 1, Chavis Johnson. Going to be a loss of 2 on the carry.
Zephaniah Black
2
again
minutes
on
and
the carry, brought
37
down by
seconds
several
left on the clock.
Panthers. Loss of a couple on the play.
Yeah, somehow, Matt, last
Second
year
12,
they
Razorbacks
started
for their own 28.
wrangling us into basketball, and then who would have ever thought that we'd be covering baseball games?
Exactly. So next week they will go to Camden Fairview, and then we will be back home the following week
Against Lakeside.
against Lakeside for homecoming.
Homecoming. It's finally here for the Razorbacks.
And then we will head up to Little Rock to go play at War Memorial Stadium against Parkview. And that's probably the matchup that everybody is looking for here in the 5A South with the Hogs doing what they did tonight. We're going to get
Once
a
again,
personal
Black on the
foul
carry.
on
There's a flag at the end of the play.
Panthers as Canada just got thrown to the ground.
Kevin Carter. Kevin Carter, number 11 of the Panthers, is going to be the one flagged for the unnecessary roughness.
That was Grayson Narns that he threw to the ground.
Unsportsmanlike conduct, whatever you want to call it. Just
Call is against the Panthers.
what you would say dumb penalties at this point. And his coaches, even on the Panthers sideline, have had to corral him and settle him down.
Looks like both teams going to their sideline after that penalty. Get everybody calm down, relax. Hey, there's just a minute 15 left on the clock. Let's finish this game out.
Professionally, and at the end of the night, you look around and you count all the young men on your roster, and if everybody's healthy leaving this ball field, you count your blessings and you move on to the next week.
Exactly. We're waiting for them to get brought back out on the field. Razorbacks holding on to a 28-7 lead with a minute 15 left on the clock. Should be roughly about 4 plays left that the Hogs should have to run in order to get this clock down.
After the
Looks like
penalty,
the
the
Panthers
first
have
and
no
10
timeouts
Razorbacks at the
left.
44-yard line.
So they get one more first down.
That
They should be
Razorback
all
first
game.
down brought to you by Millway Federal Credit Union.
But like I said, we'll be on the air next week or next Friday. We'll go on around 6:30, 6:35 to start that game. And you can listen here on 98.7 Real Country as we have 1st and 10 for the Hogs. It's going to be a handoff to Noble as he goes down the left side, and he is brought down by a few of the Panthers.
Noble's such a good-looking back for these Razorbacks. He and Zephaniah Black both do a great job in that backfield. Black's a sophomore. Noble's a freshman. Lots and lots of good stuff to build on for Coach Outlaw over the next couple of years with that tandem back there.
Oh, for sure. So down under a minute left in the game, the Hogs should be able to kneel this ball down. And that's what they're going to do. They're going to set up in their victory formation.
The best formation there is.
So the Razorbacks should hold on to this game and put them at 4-0 on the year.
And I'd have to go and get the history on that, Matt, but 4-0 is something that has not been said.
No, we're going to get a timeout from Coach Outlaw. Looks like they probably hadn't practiced this formation too much. I mean, this is a normal formation that you don't just work on all the time. But it looks like they had a couple guys that were not in position, didn't have enough guys on the line. So he'll call a timeout, get that formation set up just right, and retry this victory formation.
Well, with all due respect to the Magnolia Panthers tonight, and we wish them well going home on that hour drive back east, get out of here healthy and move on to next week, just like the Razorbacks will. But this is the closest margin of victory for the Razorbacks at 21 points. They got Arkadelphia by 22 points last week, and, of course, the first 2 weeks were complete blowouts. So, again, tip your cap to the Panthers. The Razorbacks really had to flex their muscles tonight and just outlast the Panthers. And, man, the defense is just stingy as can be.
Oh, yeah. Ball is snapped and knee taken by quarterback Nate Wall. And that will end the ball game. So the Razorbacks will win tonight 28-7 over the Magnolia Panthers and bring them 1-0 in conference play, 4-0 overall on the year. Great start for some Hog football here in Arkansas High. And Brandon, you got any last thoughts on tonight's game?
It was the matchup we expected. Razorbacks got the revenge on the Panthers from last season. Matt, you touched on it. We kind of are looking ahead, but we go to Camden next week, and if we can take care of business there, we get to host Lakeside for homecoming. Don't look past the opponents. However, I'm already thinking about how much fun it would be to see the Razorbacks at 6-0, I guess. And you talk about a David versus Goliath story in War Memorial Stadium.
Oh yeah.
So let's let these Razorbacks build on a great win tonight, a good kickoff to their conference season, and just keep the ball rolling. I mean, stay safe, stay healthy, do what the coaches ask of you, do your classwork, be good men for the community, and keep this train rolling and keep that 0 going in the loss column.
As we said, we will be rolling with them, and we'll be back live Friday night, 6:30, 6:35, for a kickoff at 7 o'clock. So I'd like to thank Andrew back at the station for taking care of us, and Brandon for bringing y'all the color. I've been Matt Riddle. You have been listening to Arkansas High Razorback football here on Real Country 98.7, home of the Hogs. Y'all have a good one, and we'll see y'all next week. Thank you, and have a good night. All right, brother, man. I appreciate you, man. And hopefully you're going to